What's going on, everybody? We are back once again for the second half of rehearsals for today. We've got 6 songs that have yet to be performed for the second rehearsal. So it is.
Tell you what they are.
All right, go for it, Jess.
So the first one is Hola mi bebe. That's just how I'm going to address that song from now on. Then we have Poland, Montenegro, Belgium, Sweden, and the Czech Republic.
And then we will have seen a second rehearsal for all the semi-finalists. Hello to Press Love. Nice to see you. If you're watching us, come say hello. I know that some of you have been watching us this morning anyway, so we're very grateful to have you here, as always. We're just sitting down to lunch right now. So the rehearsal period has just started for Romania, and as usual, they don't start filming right at the start of their interval. They still need to get in place and talk to the production crew and the delegation. So we will let you know as soon as we see something. But while these two are filling their bellies, please feel free to talk to me. I mean, as far as updates, I don't really know what else we'd be waiting on, because I think the decision that's been made as of now is that the sun will not be operational during the performances because it doesn't fully work the way that it was supposed to. They feel that even in a sort of limited capacity, it would provide certain entries with more of an advantage and others a disadvantage. Mir saying our safe space is back online. If you really feel that way, then tell your friends, because we would, I mean, unless your friends would make it not a safe space, but if you know other fans who like to talk about the crafts and are really interested in the kind of competitive aspect of Eurovision, then invite them to the stream, because we would love to know what they say. Hello again to Georgios Papadopoulos.
Hello.
Back in the registration office. Lucas is asking, why aren't you in the press center?
Because we didn't get on-site press accreditation, we got online press accreditation.
Yeah, they have changed
The rules.
Yeah,
That's not the rules, but the process.
Yeah, they've changed the process, because in the past, Eurovoxx has been able to get into the press center for pretty much every year. And we would get at least...
Andy's in the press center.
Yeah, and he's in the press center. He might pop in here and there, but really he's focused on like going to the conferences and getting interviews with the artists. But you may see him pop in every once in a while. Emma saying buen provecho. But yeah, so the EBU has decided to take a bit of a different approach with our type of press, which honestly it is a bit frustrating, but we're still here to make Eurovision content and talk with you guys and do it the best way that we can, because that's why we do it. It's not for any other reason. It's not about our egos. It's not about getting exclusive interaction with the artists. Everything that we do is because we want it to be an experience for you, and we want to be exactly, absolutely, it's not totally not for us, but I'd like to believe that our interests are genuine and
Press Lab again, we have online accreditation, which is different to on-site accreditation, but the online accreditation gives us access to view the same footage that is shown in the press center. Yeah,
and that was very handy last year, because obviously COVID was still a bit of a different thing in Rotterdam, and I was able to have access, and Jess as well, to the online press center from our home. So even though I was in Canada, I could watch the rehearsals from my bedroom and get a sense of what we were seeing and all that. And I do appreciate that. I think that now that this is the second year with the online press center, I think that there's certain things that could be worked on a little bit more, but ultimately it has been a very useful tool for us.
Definitely. And for you guys too, because you get to watch the online press center.
Justina saying, enjoy your meal. Anyone want to let us know what we had for lunch?
Jessica cooked.
Surprise.
Big surprise. And we are having pasta with sausage and mushrooms.
The most important thing is it is edible. That's a good thing for me.
Look, it filled our bellies. Yeah. It's not necessarily the way that I would make spaghetti, and not the way that Clara would make spaghetti, but we're more than happy to have spaghetti alla Jess.
Just spaghetti, I like that.
Just spaghetti. Tiago, nice to see you. Any update on the COVID case in the Portugal delegation? Are the backing vocals to be on stage? We don't
no update
know.
as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
No.
I suppose that it would be the broadcaster, it would be RTP that would update us on that, but we haven't heard anything. Yes, of course, there might need to be an isolation time, and if so, I do have to say that they were one of the acts that had 3 very solid rehearsals.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have to use rehearsal footage, no, it will not be the same, but
it will definitely work.
Mhm.
It'll be very effective and powerful, I think.
Totally. Mr. System 96 said, did something happen since they are going hard on the media? Referring to the whole situation with the press center. We don't really know. And we're not going to spread any rumors, but really, they just decided to do things differently. And for us, we just see it as an additional challenge. And, hopefully a way for them to know that we are committed to this. And it's not necessarily about, the kind of superfluous and
yeah, we're not there to take selfies with the artists or get autographs.
Mm-hmm.
So the rehearsal for Romania hasn't started yet,
mm-hmm.
is what Eurovision is saying.
Okay.
That's why we're still waiting.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, there's really no concrete details on why they made that decision, but it is what it is, and we are still here. So, yeah.
It's gonna take way more for Eurovision to make our jobs more difficult.
I will say that for me, it is a bit heartbreaking because this is the first time that I've been able to be here in person, despite getting press accreditation on 2 opportunities before, including 2020 when I was supposed to come for the first time, and having not been able to do that, it was quite the downer. But ultimately, you do what you can, because there's really nothing that I can do about that myself. Justina says it looks delicious, so it was good.
It was good.
You did good, Jess.
Thank you.
And has Andy cooked for you yet?
No.
Okay,
I've
so
never had Andy's cooking before.
so the 2 of us.
Well,
so that
I have. But essentially, he just put a pizza in the oven and warmed it up.
That's not cooking.
Yeah. And then put some fries in there as well.
Fries.
Fried chips.
No, I understand, but on the pizza?
No.
Oh, okay. We were talking about that with Marika.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually think it sounds really nice to put fries on pizza. I've never tried it, but I would love to try it.
I've had potato on pizza. I don't know if I would want it to be done like French fries with a really crispy outer. So it's not the worst thing I think you can put on pizza. No problem. But anyway, since we're talking about pizza, I know we've asked you guys before, but would you put a potato on pizza, or have you had potato on pizza? Carl Robin, food friends and Eurovision. What more do you need?
I mean, I think we're pretty much through these live streams, we've established ourselves as a very foodie blog. If it wasn't Eurovision, we could just start our own food blog.
You know what I'm thinking, actually? Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to make what I believe will be a bit of an enhancement to our screen.
Oh, we have a big box, but I don't know what's inside the box.
What's inside the box is not important. What we do with the box...
Maybe there's a circus mercus inside there.
How about that? That's a bit more natural, right?
That looks better.
Yeah. When I stream with Eurovoxx at home, I have here. Come close the gap for the little while that Clara's gone. When I stream with you guys, I always put my laptop on a box because the camera is always quite low. But this, I think Clara will like how this looks as well.
Oh, yeah.
You can see more of us.
Although Jess, you've got to come in once again.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, there we go.
Baby, I like it. The way you move on the floor.
So, favorite one so far? Are you asking us?
I mean, in everything I've seen, my favorite probably would be San Marino or Israel. But if I'm talking about just today, what we saw this morning, I would probably go with either Australia or Cyprus.
I would say of the ones we've seen today, that would be my choice as well. Who is after Cyprus again? Remind me.
Bye bye.
Oh yes. Okay. Favorite one out of all the rehearsals that we've seen the full take from? Portugal.
That is a very nice one. Very lovely.
What's that?
We have a post.
Oh.
But I need to tag you because you're.
Yeah, please. That would be really nice. From our interview with Andrea from North Macedonia yesterday. And that for people who have not been through this experience, the thing that I've really liked the most is that everyone I've met is really like super nice and dedicated to what they do. Before actually being here in person, I would meet the occasional artist, usually over video, and it was always the same thing. I've never had anyone be very difficult. Everybody has always been very happy to talk about what they do and yeah, so it's not just that Eurovision, it has this kind of positive image, depending for the most part, but it's felt too. Georgios, do you think I have to worry for Cyprus? I wouldn't say worry.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I just think that again, what I saw from the photos, it made me very, very curious. And then when we actually saw it, I wasn't as wowed as I was expecting to be, but I guess that's sometimes what happens with hype, right?
I think you're going to enjoy the Cypriot staging. It's very lovely and pleasant to see the colours with the prop that she has. And I think she did a good job, to be fair. I think if you are, because your name sounds like it could be Cypriot, but you could be Greek, I don't know. But if you are Cypriot, I think you should be very proud of your entry this year.
Yeah, it is nice to see. I mean, Cyprus has had a bit of a reputation for sending female pop songs. And while this sort of fits that category, it at least has a little bit of a twist to it as well, where it's, more low-key and more sultry and
it's very mesmerizing. It's very mermaid-like in a way. It's like the under the theme.
Under the sea theme?
Under the sea theme. Under the theme.
Under the theme.
Under the Valencian theme. Sorry. Andy is talking to me.
So yeah, we are wondering, as Jess said, some people had said that Romania hasn't appeared yet. We don't really know what that's about, but we should be seeing them anytime soon. And at this moment, we're still just seeing the loop, whereas before we
I need to go do something.
It
will take 5 seconds. So
would get the shot, like a wide shot from inside the arena.
Yeah, but maybe they haven't even come into the arena yet. Let's have a look. So the last update from Eurovision was 8 minutes ago. The rehearsal from Romania has not started yet. So I guess we just have to hold tight and wait.
Shout out to Samia Hafsawi, part of the
the online
team? The online team. She was also part of it from last year in the Netherlands, and she is someone that I'm very happy to see back. I'm sure that a lot of people would have also wanted to see Nikki Tutorials back, because she was a big personality from last year. Of course, like last year it was in the Netherlands and she's Dutch, so I don't think that they were going to ever do something like that. But yeah, I really liked how she was integrated into Eurovision.
Yeah, and I loved all the videos that she did with the artists. That was like a great inclusion, I think.
Emma saying, my favorite pizza when I was living in Italy was aubergine and parmesan. If you like aubergine, try it. I do like, we say eggplant.
I've never tried aubergine before.
Ever?
Never, ever.
I think if you like mushrooms, then you would probably like, they're not totally identical. They're not identical at all, but from a texture point of view and like having that kind of light flavor, I think, but I don't know. I think sometimes you can be a bit unpredictable with your taste.
I'm very unpredictable with my food.
Take over for one moment and maybe step back in and see if...
so we're just going to head back into Romania's stream to see if we have the updates on when they are coming on stage. And at the moment, we get the same screen as what we had before. But speaking of Romania, who is a fan, who was a fan of Ola Mi Bebebe, do you know what? When the song was first chosen, I wasn't massively keen on it, and I thought it sounded a bit kind of like a dated pop song. But the more I hear it, the more I've grown to love it, and I'm really hoping it qualifies now.
We got a comment from Alan saying, "I just watched your interview with Okman and Urs. That was so funny. Thank you for your work." Clara shows her appreciation. We weren't expecting to do something like that. We were there to meet Urs, and Okman showed up, and we were just kind of like, we were chatting, and then we just like, I was just like with the camera, and I was like, okay, let's roll and see where it goes. And we talked about all kinds of things that we never really would have guessed. If you want to get to know both of them a little bit more, then definitely check out that interview. But obviously, stay with us because you want to know about what the rehearsals are. Go ahead and put that in your watch later list on a separate tab, and you guys will enjoy that.
So once you finish watching us on the live stream, you can watch more of us.
Bubble Pirate saying hopefully Austria will qualify.
I would love to see this in the final. I really would, but I have my doubts.
Yeah, I do have to say I have my doubts as well. It's just unfortunately not there vocally, and I mean that one looked really good.
Oh yeah, staging wise, it's incredible in my opinion.
Yeah,
and if we were kind of picking a qualifier list just based on the stagings, that would be in my top 10 to qualify.
Earlier, just before I came back, you were talking about how you felt about Yamame.
Yeah, like when it first won the national final, I wasn't loving the song. I thought it sounded kind of a bit like a dated pop song from like the 2000s. But as time's gone on and I've seen some of his pre-party performances, I've really grown to love the song. And I'm now fully team Urs, and I want him in the final.
For me, when the many Romanian songs were released, the 46 to be exact, it was interesting because I did not listen to all of them. There was far too many national selections to follow. And so I was like, okay, I'll listen to a recap, and then whichever ones pique my interest the most, I'll listen to those. Yamame was one of them, and it was definitely the one that I liked the most. I didn't love it, but it appealed to my love of trance music, actually, because I used to be in my teenage years and in my early adulthood, I listened to a lot of trance, and his sound reminds me a lot of a German DJ named Roger Shaw, because it has this Mediterranean feel to it, but then it's also quite like laid back, and even like the bass line, it felt very, very much like Roger Shaw. Let me know if you know who I'm talking about. Or
I don't.
Fair enough. He did have some songs that charted. There was one that he actually did with a Canadian singer that was quite well known in like the late 2000s. And he was kind of in the circle with Armin van Buuren, who's obviously a very big DJ. But so when I kind of listened to those songs, I was like, I'm going to make a prediction. I think it's going to be this one. And for my kind of planning purposes, I have like a spreadsheet so I can keep track of who's who and who the personnel are. So I was just like, okay, I'll put this one down because I have a feeling about this one. So I put.
Do you also track who is who in Eurovoxx?
What's that? Do
you also track who is who in Eurovoxx? Do you have a sheet with our personalities?
Only if I need you for a video. But nonetheless, I was like, yeah, let's put down Urs Yamame. Let's see how that goes. And then I'll put it in italics just because it's not confirmed. And then here we are.
Here we are at the end.
In the end, it did.
That's currently changing.
Bubble Pirate asking, do you prefer Austria or Norway? I prefer Austria.
I love both songs.
No, I mean, it's good, but like, I'm surprised.
I love both songs. I'm going to pick both because I can't choose between them. I love them both.
I like both recorded tracks, but Norway's performance is more solid. Yeah. But I do love this Austrian staging. I think they do something different from the rest. So I can appreciate that scenery change.
Totally. Giorgio's saying, I see Austria being a borderline qualifier with the televote, but the juries will have it very low. I'm not sure that the televote fully get behind it. It's because there's a lot of songs that are considerably more televote friendly, including Norway, because that's the same semi-final. Bubble Pirate asking how was lunch? It was good.
Oh, it was good. It was good. I feel my belly feels full. And we planked before lunch, so we had room, definitely.
We earned it. Yeah. If you don't know, we're doing this kind of plank challenge. We might have already said this in the morning, but anyway.
Let's do this again.
For the people who weren't watching in the morning, we're doing this plank challenge where we hold a plank. At the moment, we're at 2 minutes. We're about to up it to 2:30.
Yes, tomorrow it's 2:30. Because I'm a beast and I upgrade 30 seconds after 30 seconds.
Do you have a record?
3 minutes actually.
Oh yeah? Okay, so you've already made it 2.
But like it was once 2 years ago.
Okay. Jess's record is probably...
My record is 12 seconds.
Hey! I feel a bit embarrassed because I don't want to be gloaty.
You go. Take it. It's impressive. You should be proud of your own accomplishments.
When I was
an astronaut.
Definitely not. When I was training with when I was competing in dragon boat races, I was able to do
what?
Dragon boat.
Oh, I understood drag race. So I was like, what?
Dragon boat. I once was aiming for a 5-minute plank and ended up doing 6 minutes 21 seconds.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, that.
The heat is on, Clara.
Yeah, the heat is on.
I haven't been able to duplicate that in a long time. But
what year was that, or how long ago was that?
2012. 10 years ago.
How old were we?
21. 20 and 21.
Yeah, 2021. We're the same year, born in the same year, 1991. Best year ever.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it was actually.
The best year ever.
Do you know about the Doomsday Clock?
Yes.
Yeah.
In 1991, the Doomsday Clock had never been farther away from Doom.
Oh. So
you're welcome. You're welcome. It was us. It was us.
I like that.
They were anticipating us being born.
It's like
and
we
existing.
came into the world and suddenly peace.
No. Peace will come. Aren't you happy that 1991 happened for everyone?
I mean, we potentially prevented a massive catastrophe just by being born.
Actually, I want to thank our parents for conceiving us.
For conceiving
around
us.
The same.
My cousin from the UK, so my mom's cousin, so I guess she's technically my second cousin. She once told me on my birthday how she had a hand in my existing, and it was because her flight from the UK to Canada was delayed. And my parents had some spare time.
Nice.
So I can just call you like an honorary British person then.
Yeah, she's my spirit mom.
Okay.
I like to think of her like that, and she's so lovely. She's so funny. I'm gonna see her this year. She's coming to Canada.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah. Let's go to some of your comments. We are still waiting on Romania. We don't really know what's going on.
And this is what we decided to do with the space with.
We hope you enjoy our random stories. Rye Bailey says Romania is good but won't qualify.
Oh, I think it will.
I think televoters are really going to go for this.
I am going to hold my thoughts until I see something. The thing is, leading up to now, I've always enjoyed the song, but leading up to now, I felt like there's been a big mismatch between how it looks and how the vibe it brings. So I would love to be wrong, but I'll hold my thoughts until then. Emma, unfortunately, 1991 Eurovision was not the best one organization-wise.
It was a bit chaotic.
Yeah, and I was supposed to watch that. Well, we made plans to watch it before
from your mom's womb.
I'm pretty sure it happened. Well, yeah, I would have. Yeah, exactly.
You probably weren't even born yet.
No, exactly. But
you're from February.
Yes.
From June, and you are from September.
May.
You're from May. Oh, true. Your birthday is soon.
Yeah.
How did you forget this?
And we had this conversation.
It's okay. I'm not gonna hold it against you.
Thank you. Will you hold it against me?
He has the same birthday as Tommy from Eurovoxx.
Yeah.
So
and
February, May, June.
And if we would have been in Rotterdam together last year, then we would have been celebrating our birthdays together on semi-final one.
Yes, indeed.
But about 1991, yeah, I was gonna watch it before coming here, but we just never got to it because that was the last time that Italy hosted, of course, and it is a bit famously chaotic and messy.
Who won that year? Take Me to Your Heaven or?
No,
Frank Adam Stormwind.
Corolla.
Corolla.
Carola. Oh,
Mhm.
I like that for us. I like that.
Although
Yeah.
my winner that year was France, who tied for the win. That would have been my preferred winner.
I still haven't seen that year. I did watch the Greek performance from that year, which I understand it's a bit notable because the saxophonist was replaced at the last minute, and he really screws up the sax
Really?
I don't
horribly.
remember
Yeah, but
How come you know these details?
I read about it.
Ah.
Yeah, and then I watched it and I saw it for myself. But the song was actually really good.
my favourite from that year is Israel's song.
Yeah, I still haven't seen enough from that. Bubble Pirates. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Pride and Prejudice, the 2005 version with Keira Knightley, directed by the Wright brothers. One of the Joe Wright, I think.
The Wright brothers are directors?
Yeah. No. Yes. Maybe I'm getting this wrong.
I know the Wright brothers as the two who invented the plane.
No,
Yeah.
not those
That's
ones.
what I was thinking.
All right. Favorite movie?
I don't have. I can't pick just one.
Favorite movie you've seen recently?
I have many movies that I love. One of which is The Day
Joe,
After.
yeah, right. The Wright brothers. Joe Wright. I was right.
One of my favorite movies is The Day After Tomorrow.
Okay. I haven't seen that one. I don't know anymore. I think there was a period of time where I would say Children of Men, directed by Alfonso Cuarón. He's really big on long takes, and anyone who has seen me cover Eurovision sees how like kind of nuts I go for well executed long takes, because obviously you can do them incorrectly.
So Eurovision have said we have not yet started with Romania. As soon as we start, we will adjust the rest of the schedule.
Okay.
So perhaps I guess they're just running
in circles.
behind.
They're running in circles.
Running in circles. Giorgio is saying, I wouldn't be surprised if Spain gives us a high score in this semi. Oh, if Spain gives a high score to Cyprus.
To Cyprus
Or to Romania.
Well,
Both.
potentially both,
Oh.
yeah. Well, yes, especially Spain, because it's been used in commercials, apparently.
Not necessarily in commercials, but in transitions of TV programs.
Okay. Emma's saying, it was my first Eurovision. I assume you're talking about 1991, and lucky to watch it as you live in Rome. Long story, I was a child. Don't make assumptions on my age. My favorite was France with Amina.
Good choice.
Bubble Pirate saying, what are your most shocking non-qualifiers in the last years? Mine was Time Bell Apollo.
Croatia, Albania last year.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also going like way back, Kate Bryan in 2006 should have qualified for Belgium.
That is very true.
I know it's like old, but still.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that old.
And also Iceland in 2016, I think should have qualified.
Which one?
Hear Them Calling.
With Greta Salome.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a little bit bare though.
I think that sometimes you can go a little too far with the immersion. And I think we even have seen that more recently, because that was the year after Mons Zemmerlo, and everybody was like, "Oh, well, if we can do this, then
everyone can do that." Yeah.
But I do think that was a very respectable one. I would have chosen it as a qualifier personally, but it did end up winning that non-qualifier contest that was run by Eurovision again. Samuele saying, "Buonasera, signori, signori."
Guardiatori, ti conviene stare in sito buono per la fente, tipo spratitu.
I've had a year and 3 months to learn the lyrics, and yet I have not.
I also had a year and 3 months to learn your name and still have.
Referring to Alfonso Cuarón, he said, Giorgio says he did an amazing job at Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah.
And now we see a tribute of that on Ockman stage. Kidding. They're
not the mentors.
Go and see the interview that we just uploaded, and we just uploaded. It's an unexpected hangout with Urs and Ockman, where we actually discussed about those mentors.
Mm-hmm. And the books that you are all fans of, and who follows Harry Potter, and who did or who didn't. And like a lot about the
Hunger Games and the Capitol,
and how it relates to Eurovision.
And how Eurovision is like high school.
Rye Bailey's
not cool at school.
Rye Bailey's shock non-qualifier was Portugal 2019.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would have deserved a place in the final?
I think that I loved that song, and at the time I felt very upset about that qualifying over, let's say, elderly gentleman. An elderly gentleman.
Who says no?
But I think as time has gone on, I can see just why it was not for the Eurovision crowd. And that, you know, perhaps the feeling was a bit pretentious, but I still liked it. And Tiago's non-qualifier, Finland 2017.
It's my favourite Finnish entry ever.
Yeah.
How that did not qualify with everything going on is just beyond me.
Chris, my partner, and I, we did, before Eurovision did one of their own with the non-qualifiers, we did that amongst ourselves. And our winner was Finland 2017.
Ooh,
and I did the unusual thing and picked it as the closer. Rather than going for a really up-tempo song, I chose it to close the show. And it just had such a beautiful, serene feeling to it that it was like the right thing to do. And I think that, I think we probably would have appreciated that song between the two of us anyway, but I think that it is an example of how running order can make a difference.
Oh yeah, I think it does play a part.
Alan saying, which countries do you think might join Eurovision in the future? It's always hard to say because now we're seeing a lot of pushback amongst the idea. So like when, maybe I'll hold this thought for later.
We can see in the arena now.
We can see in the arena. We'll let you know when there's... we've got a postcard, so they are probably going right into it. And this is La Castella on the coast.
This is the intro, the new piano intro to Romania.
Hola mi
bebe. And then you could do a really high note like Israel does. And then a beat kicks in.
Rai Bailey wasn't keen on Finland 2017. Georgios watched that semi in 2019 with friends and he was surprised. He was surprised that nobody was feeling Telemovej. Samueles, Portugal 2019, Finland 2017, Iceland 2016. Okay, here we go.
They never liked you. Try to keep my head above the water.
But you done.
Get so hard to. What if
Oh yeah!
Oh wow!
Fancy!
This is fabulous.
Wow. Oh yes. I love this. My heart is so happy for him.
What I will say now is that the dancing is a lot more elaborate than what we've seen before. He's really putting in his background as a dancer into this performance.
I think everyone is going to appreciate the shirts the dancers are wearing, or the lack of.
Oh, and he's got a headset this time.
Yeah, he didn't have it in the first.
I think he had a handheld.
He's got moves.
He's a professional dancer. Yeah.
Oh, there's the reveal. That was a pretty smooth reveal.
Yeah. Oh, I would call you, baby.
Te voy a llamar.
Te voy a llamar. ¡Ole! I
All
will
right.
watch this again. I can't get enough of this.
All right. What's the start? With firstly,
I
just a
guess-
bit of an explanation.
Well, it's very Latino vibe. It's very telenovela, Latin telenovela-like, which is where he probably has drank for, like, got inspiration from.
He talks about that all the time
Yes.
as well, watching the telenovelas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a dark red theme. He's wearing a red lacy with ruffles shirt, very very Latino.
Mhm.
And this basically choreography. I love it because it doesn't depend on the staging or on the projections. The sun. I completely forgot there was like issues with the sun because there's no issues with the sun in this one. They are dancing. It's the choreography. It's inviting. I don't know. I like it very much.
Mhm. What do you
Me
think,
too.
Jess?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything comes together very nicely. They've got a nice color scheme going on with all of the, like, on the backdrop and all the lights in the arena. It matches the outfits, everything.
And those colors are?
Red,
Black.
Garnet, black, and golden.
Yeah,
Mhm.
garnet.
Garnet.
Oh, never heard
Yeah,
that
like a
before.
deep red, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
like more reddish than red wine, but
Mhm.
not red tomato,
Mhm.
for example.
But yeah, I mean, that kind of color scheme suits this kind of Latino vibe going on with the song. I will say that I was more impressed with his dancing rather than his vocals. I thought they were a tad weak, but then again, he could just be saving himself for the live show.
I feel like these are the best vocals we've seen from him, personally.
Well, he's done way better in not that these were bad, but
The pre-parties?
in the pre-parties he was great.
Okay.
But maybe because he was like, it was that one performance. Maybe he's just like marking. I think on this rehearsal, it's more important like the marking. And I think Urs is an artist that draws energy from the crowd. So
So I have to say that I'm really impressed with the execution of really what they've set out to do. And for me, this is the best performance that I've seen from him. You've suggested that there might be better ones, but I feel like that they can only go up, and and yeah, certainly like the more elaborate choreography definitely caught my eye as well. I'm very happy for him and his team, and one of the things that we learned in that interview yesterday was it was Ahmed who was complimenting Urs on the dedication that his team has, and I think it's really showing.
Yeah.
The thing that I was always thinking about this one is the kind of like with Brooke, the mismatch between how it looks and how it sounds, because I feel like this aesthetic, it's a nice aesthetic, but it kind of undersells the song itself. I feel like this could be demonstrated better with something that looked a little bit more modern, and sleeker, and that's what makes me think that's the area where I think this could suffer. Having seen this, I do think that this could be a contender for a good televote score.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is going to depend on how the jury reacts to it. Although, and again, like seeing the pretty good vocals, I think that he's not going to be very low with the jury. But I guess just the kind of stylistic choices, the stylistic choices, I think are going to turn some jurors off. But we'll see.
It's fun. It's in your face. It's done on purpose. So I like my bet of them.
Yeah, I like that he's doing what he wants to do, and I mean maybe he's also had some guidance in that. But the impression that I get from the conversations you've had with him is that he is very involved in every aspect of it. He edits his own music videos, which is really impressive.
Yes.
So that's really cool. And this is the thing, even we have Samuele saying this will unfortunately not qualify, and Rye Bailey definitely not. And like that's how I felt as well. But I don't know. I think
Romania is going through.
I think so.
Sounds like a bet.
How long should I hold a plane?
Spain versus Italy. Alan, whose dancers are hotter, the Spanish or the Romanian ones?
The Romanian ones.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Romania too.
The Spanish ones are dressed better.
The Romanian ones are better built.
I think. Well,
They have more muscular torsos.
I think we got to see them side by side.
Does anyone want to create a video putting them side by side?
Mhm.
I feel a lot of fun. People in the fandom have time to do.
How about this?
Where's
They're all hot, and I mean, like, who's gonna know the difference?
Yeah.
True.
It goes down to personal taste.
yeah. And I mean, honestly, when it comes to Eurovision, it's like take your pick. Rai Bailey is making sushi for less.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
You're not
I
a
don't
sushi-
like sushi.
We went out for poke the other day, and
And
the guy who assembled the poke bowls was insistent on just having at least
Yeah.
some olive oil in there because she wouldn't have.
I like my food very plain and simple. So essentially, I just wanted rice and some like
chicken.
vegetables and some meat.
Mhm.
But he wouldn't let me leave without adding some kind of sauce.
Bubble Pirate does not think that Romania is going to qualify. Maybe we'll answer this a little bit later because I really have to think about who would be a shock, a surprise non-qualifier. Yeah. Hello to ESC Viral. What about Ronella's dancers? Yeah, they're pretty good looking.
Yeah. We're not spoiled for choice this year. There's a lot of...
We are spoiled for choice.
We are. I always get confused between we are and we aren't.
Mhm. I like your good intentions, but only 10 to qualify. I know. But the thing is, in each semifinal, I feel like there's a handful that we feel very confident about, and then everyone else is more or less in the middle. There's only so many that I feel much more strongly that they won't. And it's like for various reasons. It's like sometimes they have a great song, but the performance isn't living up to it, or the reverse. And I mean, hey, look, we're the ones that are seeing it.
Yeah.
And we like it.
Alan saying "Yamame" in slow mo.
In slow.
I'm sure that somebody has slowed down either of those songs for some sort of TikTok video because that's the thing that you do, and put trap beats over it. So it's mo, mo.
Or that is what you were going to be doing once you return to Canada.
Not on TikTok. And Eurovision cannot make me get on TikTok. All right, we're getting another take of Romania.
Try to keep my head above the water, but you make it so hard to. What do you think gonna find out? Nobody's gonna like it. We get away. Need you to stay. What do you think gonna find out? Nobody's gonna like it. We get away. Need you to stay. Hola mi bebé. Hola mi bebé. Llámame, llámame.
Yes. So wow. It's very smart that they have the projection of the words on the floor instead of over the sun.
They do have it off to the side as well, but it's not obscured like it was before.
It's instrumental as well.
I would like closer shots. And I thought
I think I would like some lighting variations, some moments of darkness at least, because it's not totally flat. There's some color there and some detail, but it would be nice for a few change ups personally. Yeah, the choreo's tight. It is. And he comes across as very likable, which I think really works for him.
he has had time to practice his camera face.
Again, put our Okman by Urs interview in your watch later playlist and check it out when we're done today.
And when you say on me, my
Mhm.
So in love. Hola, mi bebé. Llámame, llámame. Llámame, llámame. Hola, mi bebé. Hola, mi bebé. Llámame, llámame. Llámame, llámame.
Nice vocal.
Yeah,
It's all there and a rain of
sparkles,
sparkles.
golden
Gold
sparkles.
sparkles.
All right.
Nice.
Love that ending.
Yeah.
We like it. We like this. Yes.
Bubble Pirate asking, what are your favorites of Italy's entries of all
Mm.
time? Theirs is Emma Marone with La Mia Città.
Oh, I saw that live. That was my first Eurovision I ever attended as audience.
Cool.
Did you like that song?
Yes, I liked it. But I guess my all-time favorite must be Zitti E Buoni.
Oh, okay.
Mine would have to be Tutto Coutinho, Insieme.
Oh, the winning song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that song. But also Zitti E Buoni is a close second.
Mm-hmm. Soldi. Come on.
That's okay. That's actually my second one, I'd
Mhm.
say.
And Jojo's saying, I made pizza now and put it up. I made pizza now and I'm eating it.
Oh,
Well, that's what pizza's for.
Enjoy.
cool.
Rye Bailey thinks Subwoofer are hot.
Oh, so it's the yellow that turns you on. What do you think about the Simpson then?
Or is it the fact that you can't see their faces that makes, is it the mystery that you find attractive? Justina saying, I can't wait for Poland. Is Poland after this one?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
coming on soon.
So we've got one more take of Romania,
Mhm.
and then that will be what we see. Samuele's favorite Italian acts are Soldi and Brividi because he adores Mahmood. And yeah, like Mahmood has been one of my favorite artists who have
Mhm.
discovered through Eurovision. And that's one of my favorite things too, like finding people who really interest you. Urs is actually one of them. I listen to a lot of his other music.
He's a very interesting artist.
Totally.
He draws from a lot of different cultures. I like it. It's very fascinating.
Hmm Tiago, life goal, have someone that looks at you the way Urs looks at I think you're reading into that a little bit. I'd say have somebody that looks at you the way Urs looks in the camera.
No,
Yes.
Have someone who looks at you in a way that says "Hola, mi bebé." Samuele also says Marco Megoni and Francesco Gabbani.
they were great.
Yes, yeah. Funny enough, I never really felt like Francesco Gabbani, although I liked the song,
Yeah.
especially like what he
But
was going for. I never felt like it was going to win.
Me
No,
neither.
But he has way better songs than Occidentalis Karma. This is an artist. Some artists interest me, and I keep listening to their other music
Mhm.
outside Eurovision. And this was one of the artists, and I have to say he has really, really good music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've heard other songs of his kind of loosely, and then of course he was in Sanremo again
Yeah.
when Diodato won. He
With
was
Viceversa.
yes.
That's a good one, but my favorite one must be È un'altra cosa. Na 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 na, ui ui ui.
I might have heard that one.
È un'altra cosa. Na 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 na. È un'altra cosa. È un'altra cosa.
Rye Bailey's favorite is the 2012 Amy Winehouse
I love that
lookalike.
one.
It was Amore.
L'amore
Femmina.
femmina.
Si vuole chiedere.
Nina Zitti Zilli. Something.
Nina Zitti E Buoni.
Nina, shut up and be good.
Nina Silly.
All right, third take of Romania. Even though they're on a delay, it's great to see that they've
Yeah.
really moved through these quite fast.
That I was different than the other. They never liked you. Try to keep my head above the water, but you make it so hard to. What do you think gonna find out? Nobody's gonna like you.
Do you think we're going to see some pyro as well?
I hope
Ooh, I would
so.
love that. Yes.
What do you think gonna find out? Nobody's gonna like you. We get away. Need you to stay.
These shots are better.
Mhm.
Hola, mi bebé. Llámame, llámame. Llámame, llámame. Hola, mi bebé. Hola, mi bebé. Llámame, llámame. Llámame, llámame. Hola, mi bebé. cannot be stopped by anybody. It's so true. Show it to the world.
there's a very
What a suggestive dance move.
Why wasn't he asked to change his choreography?
mhm. That's something nice you like about each other. Oh, it's like, well, take your
How
pick.
about us?
I like
You
that.
breathe very well.
What?
You breathe very well.
I'm breathing.
You have a nice accent.
I don't want to run away from you when I'm next to you.
I can tolerate you.
And I gotta say, I definitely appreciate the bye moment with dancing with the girl and then dancing with the guy. That's gets a few points for me, a few extra points.
I'm thinking of other nice things I can say.
What's that?
Thinking of other nice things I can say about you now before I with my thoughts. Ooh!
That is like, you don't even notice it coming on.
This is the best performance, this is the best run we've seen today, I think. Of him, of course.
I mean, imagine a duet with him and Mikey from Israel. That would be quite a moment.
And
I don't know. I think
I think the same as you.
I'm like,
They would be too clashy, too
yeah.
similar and too... They wouldn't aportarían nada diferente el uno al otro. Sorry.
Yeah.
They would not add anything.
Yeah, it would be almost like because the two of them are really the center of their own performances. If we're going to compare the two, I would say that I much prefer the integration of cultural elements in this song than I do to Israel's, because it's almost like they have to take a moment to remind you, oh yeah, this is the land that we come from. Whereas this is, it feels like a part of it. And sure, there's also Spanish there, which is not his culture, but it's one that he resonates with, right?
But they're both Latin. Romanian and Spanish are Latin languages.
Yeah, absolutely.
These
Yeah.
are from the same root.
Vincent F saying, "Hola mi bebés."
Hola!
Hola mis bebés. Jess is 19.
I wish. I'm quite a couple of years older than that.
Franco saying, definitely not my type of song, but Romania could qualify thanks to the televote. That's what I think. Loved last year's entry from Romania, which didn't unfortunately qualify due to a bad vocal performance.
I agree on that last statement.
Yeah, the thing is, it was that, but then it was also, I found that the movement, because she had to focus so much on singing, she wasn't able to communicate the effect of the movement in a way that it needed to be, because it was inspired by the music video, and in the music video she's really showing quite a lot of aggression and fighting those feelings, but in the performance it was kind of very dainty. She's kind of going like,
I just think she wasn't ready for the stage, or she wasn't ready for the Eurovision experience. If she manages to get ready and in a mental place that she can hold all of a live performance with so much scrutiny, then she should come back. But I don't think she was ready.
Yeah, and I think the thing that always concerned me as well was that the way that she was being presented, it built up a lot of hype, and they were placing a lot of emphasis on her and her abilities that just didn't seem to be there.
But it would be nice to see her come back when she's obviously more experienced.
When it's
they?
I believe so. This person is non-binary.
Okay.
But the thing is, I haven't actually heard them refer to their specific pronouns, and therefore she may still be appropriate. But just out of respect, we want to acknowledge that's we do know about that. Samuel says that he really enjoyed Stefan.
Oh.
And you?
I was going to make an inappropriate joke that I'm going to keep to myself. It sounded, his vocals were the best part of the performance for sure. And normally, sometimes we think that the staging is what elevates the whole experience, but I think his vocals are better than his staging. His staging, for me, is really not good. I
was very impressed by Stefan's vocals.
Vincent F saying, this song is dated but so catchy that you gotta love it.
That's pretty much how I feel. Like you can't not sing along or dance along. It's definitely my. Sorry, we're eating. I'm just very hungry because I'm always hungry.
We just had lunch.
We just had a big pasta.
I'm still hungry. We just love food. Essentially, Eurovision and food.
I'm gonna eat
And
these
friends.
M&Ms and I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned because we got Poland coming up. Hold on.
Oh,
I
okay.
can-
I was going to give you time to chew. Eat.
It's all good. Bubble Pirate, you can definitely feel which countries want to win and which don't. I mean, I would say that sometimes wanting to win can be a bit of a kiss of death. And that actually, from the artist's point of view, I would say, showing up to tell your story and do so in a way that has the authenticity come through is probably your best selling point. Let me just take some water. Mariano, excited for Poland, can't wait. Franco saying, yes, the choreo affected her breathing, singing through the whole performance. And it was also like they were aware of that, and that probably made the movements very limited because that was the priority, obviously getting the vocals down.
Tiago is asking thoughts on Diodato performing as an interval act.
Well, Eurovision had to honor him somehow for winning Sanremo and not being able to compete on a Eurovision stage. So I think it's very appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of hoped that would be the case for most of the 2020 artists, which obviously is a bit unrealistic. But at least the ones who weren't able to make it to Eurovision anyway. But it's, certainly since Eurovision is in Italy this year, it's great to see that is being given to Diodato. Somebody says, Ahmed's postcard is one of the most iconic natural icons of Italy. Oh, I guess we should have been watching it. Well, it'll come back again. Scala di Turkey. Scala dei Turchi. Hello to Harry. I know the feeling I was being hungry. I do too. Yeah, that's just sometimes how it is.
Oh, Poland.
Okay, so Poland, we're getting the postcard.
We'll pay attention to both to the Scala di Turkey. Water sound amplified times 11.
Interesting.
Gonna take my body down, right down to the river. Gonna take my body down. Let the water carry me away. Just float away.
It's hard for me to match this Christian to the one that's just today. He's way more. He's really expressive on stage. Oh, nice effects on the screen.
I'm not loving it.
Yeah,
It's going to look like something different for some minds, but
I like the idea. I think
the
that
execution is.
yeah, It's almost like looking through a rainy window where the water droplets are sitting and some of them are falling down.
But they're too white.
Exactly.
Well,
Oh my god! Hold on,
I
way
like
too
that
much.
though.
Way too much. Oh my god.
then there's a storm and there's like lightning roared on the screen and then the camera's shaking.
Hmm.
Incredibly vocals.
This is qualifying for sure,
Oh,
just
yeah.
for the
Yeah.
pure theatricals of it.
That works.
It's really good.
Ah.
We have the spinning circle of death in the.
Yeah.
Buffering,
Screen.
buffering, Eurovision. What are you doing to us?
Hmm. Well, in the meantime,
It's got my interest.
yeah.
It
Go for it.
is.
Sure. It's
Tell us about what we're seeing.
well, so obviously it starts off with Okman on the main stage by himself, and then his backing dancers are on like the satellite stage. I don't know what you call it. And we see on the screen that looks like raindrops. On the screen, you can hear them as well, and the camera kind of gradually goes closer to him. And then at some point in the performance, the rain effect on the screen like is increased, it amplifies, and then suddenly, as Clara mentioned, the thunder and lightning comes, the camera's shaking.
It's getting.
It's very dark and very moody. I personally think it's a bit too dark in some places. I would like to see more colour. But the dancers work very well, or the Dementors, whatever we're calling them.
Yeah, I do think so.
I really like this. I think it's very interesting, very intriguing, and I think it's definitely going to qualify.
I like the darkness though. I think it works really well with this song. I think it's a little bit. They need to arrange visuals a little bit because there's so many things happen suddenly at once.
Yeah.
Then the lighting comes on, the Dementors are on, the camera's shaking. It's like an algid moment, and there needs to be a little bit more of a tidiness to it. But it's good. It's very good.
Yeah, I would say
It's
overall
like a
it's
mini
good.
movie.
Like, yeah. You know, as you say, very theatrical and dramatic. I mean, I'm sure that without seeing it, you guys could have guessed what the color scheme would be. It's, black and blue. For my issue is really just that at moments it is a bit too much. In the second chorus, that's when you get a moment with the camera shaking and flashes of lightning, and it's just a bit extra in my point of view. But
I would never have thought Christian Ockman as an extra kind of person.
well, I mean, I don't necessarily know if that was his idea, but
he agreed to it.
he agreed to it, and it's his face. He is the face that represents all of that. So yeah, I mean, I think, overall good. I definitely expect this in the final as well. Vocals are great.
And he has a crazy fan base, like so many. I don't know if any other artist has as much support or extended fan base as him, or that are openly vocal about how much they love him.
And I do believe that the dancers that they have are a really nice detail. And I think that even just like sometimes where they're positioned when they're motionless and that moment in the song, because there is, I think after the first chorus, they move from where they are and they're somewhere else. It's almost like being chased by something and
or having like the haunting presence.
Yeah, exactly. And when you look at it, it's frozen. But then when you turn your head away from it, then it moves. Yeah.
To you, it's like, huh?
Yeah.
But I did feel like in some parts you couldn't really see the dancers very well. Like either the camera was so far away or it was too dark.
That's okay because they're supposed to be like they're supposed to be demons, right? And I don't think it's supposed to be so visible. It's more like something that you're uncertain of its presence, but you can feel it, right? Mariana is saying, do you think Poland will go to the final? I think we all unanimously agree that it's going to the final. Hey to Alethea. Right now, Norway is my second winner. I love Solvwilfer and France.
Nice.
Good choices.
Alan, I guess when I see Diodato on stage, I'm going to cry remembering all the things that was going on, all the things that was going on in the world in 2020. Really hope he will return one day to Sanremo. Rabele saying, nice to see Poland in the final again. Samuele saying, the problem with Poland for me is his voice. It makes the song sound dated. I'm not really sure what you mean by, because I mean, his voice is his voice, and
how can a voice sound dated?
Yeah.
Like the style of the song, or
I see a
he's not
kind of
mature, if that's what...
I see a disconnect between the instrumentation, the approach of the song, and his vocal style, because he's kind of like he reminds me of Josh Groban a lot, because it's his voice is very operatic, right? And then when you have this really up-tempo percussion underneath it, it maybe sounds like there's a bit of a mismatch, which is one of the things. This is one of the reasons why I don't think the song is winning, but it's going to get a respectable score.
Oh, yes.
Sings superbly, but he's 23. Come on, what do you, yeah. People who are much younger. I don't know. Let's move on. Bubble Pirate is saying, I like when he is crying, singing, but the rest doesn't fit.
Maybe he means like the really falsetto.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like there's a cohesion that's lacking between all the elements, and that's why I think again, respectable score. Gonna get love from the televote and the juries, but not as much love from the juries, I think, because of that lack of cohesion. Franco loves Poland's his number 2. Hopefully his performance is not spoilt by bad staging. I wouldn't say that this is bad.
No, it's not bad staging.
It needs to be refined. Yeah.
And I think it's going to divide a lot of people. There are obviously going to be some people that are like, this is amazing, I love it. Others are going to be like, nope, it's not working.
Francesco saying, Forza Italia. Vincent F. Is he able to open his eyes when he sings? Well, funny enough, he made it very clear yesterday when we spoke to him that his eyes are not closed. They're just... It's just the
looking down.
Yeah.
It's
where he holds his focus. Mariana showing some love to Achman. Lucas saying huge applause in the press center.
Nice. Lucas, are you in the press center?
Yeah, let us know. Alethea, give Andy a big hug for you. We will. Yeah.
Jess is the hugger this year. She's in charge of hugging.
Even though I don't normally like hugs, I'm a hugger.
She does not.
I don't like physical contact.
Fair enough. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to be judgy. Anyway, we're getting our second take. And there's a rain sound effect off the top that I think works well.
I'm not loving the visual effect of the rain.
No. And that's the thing. It doesn't integrate very well.
This is better modulated. Vocals are better modulated.
You think so?
I find it peculiar that he likes rap music very much. That's a fantastic vocal transition.
Yeah, it's like there are some moments like here that work very, very well, and then there's others that are just a bit either too much or just not matching what we're hearing. I am familiar with that song, and I would say so too. Without the kind of drum and bass percussion.
Not liking this visual.
Yeah. So there's a lot of use of overlays in this performance, and conceptually,
I do like.
I still feel it's too much personally.
Literally the mentors.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlays that are used, so like either water droplets or flashes of thunder. I think this is my favorite part.
Me too. Like he flips from like the falsetto head to chest piece very well.
Yeah.
Love the lighting.
Gonna take my body down,
Hi.
down,
Hi, Marika.
down to the river.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have ESC saying he needs to ditch the suit, but looks like an office suit.
I think what he's wearing suits
Okay.
the performance.
Okay.
I mean, what else would he wear that would look good in my opinion?
Let
I think
me
it suits
look at
him.
it.
Yeah.
I think that there could be other options. Like still, have like a classy look to him.
Or I guess maybe something similar to what Azerbaijan is wearing, maybe could work.
Again, I haven't seen that one,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm not
Sorry.
totally sure. Vincent F asking, do you feel he was able to connect with the audience camera?
To a certain extent.
Yeah, not as much as you would hope. Not as much as I'd say like a
Yeah.
lot of the heavyweights that
Yeah.
we see this year. But again, not enough to I think really compromise the
No.
score.
But still, like it's better than what we've seen of him previously.
Alan Kirby saying, I think Poland made the mistake releasing it so early. Releasing the song, you say? I mean, it wasn't so.
I
It was
think
kind of in the
song
middle
was
of
released
the.
before the national final.
Okay.
But I don't think that's going to make any difference.
Yeah. ESC Viral saying, I really struggled to connect with Poland this year. It's too similar to last year's Switzerland song, but not as good. I see this is one of those songs that gets a lot of comparisons.
I personally don't see that comparison.
Yeah, I like vaguely, just vaguely, but I think that they're distinct enough. I mean, if I had to choose between the two, it would definitely be John's Tears. But like, that's a song with cohesion.
Yeah.
Certainly. And visually speaking, acoustically speaking, yeah. P-Rad, I think you will all be very surprised.
I think you will be too.
Well, who knows? Other things saying Poland is their winner. And I did respond to that about Agnes Obel. Agnes Obel, I believe, is Danish as well.
Oh.
ESC, I appreciate Poland's entering. He's one of the best vocalists this year, but the song starts to bore me. Non-reason, I know. Well, I was saying to you guys as well, like, it was one of the songs, I thought it was a good choice when that selection was happening. But as like, we had to invest our attention into some of the other selections we had, I forgot about it very quickly.
I mean, I can understand, because essentially it's a ballad, a power ballad at that. So I can understand it's not going to be to everyone's taste, and some people probably would find a song like this on the more boring side, but it does obviously have a lot of love as well.
Alan Kirby, if I compared Estonia to Poland, I personally preferred Estonia.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Estonia, from a sonic point of view, has that cohesion that is lacking here. Franco saying his voice is beautiful. I find it moving, but I guess it's only me. No, we all really like his voice.
Like he's really pouring everything, his heart and soul, into this performance.
Yeah, and again, we're all like, we see this
like,
in the
wow.
final.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me for a second. Would you like to come take over? You're stepping out soon?
What?
Are you stepping out soon?
No, Marika is taking care of it, but Andy is not answering her, so Marika is asking through me.
Okay, no problem. If you need to, I'm just going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So Rye Bailey, you're saying the suit doesn't match the staging. I personally like the suit he's wearing. I think it looks good on him, at least. That's all I'm going to say on that, because I don't know what else to say on that. Someone is saying, what a mood. I assume we're talking about Ochman from Poland. Definitely does create a bit of a mood and an atmosphere on the stage once you see the full staging. We've gone to the end of the comments. So yeah, we've already seen 2 run-throughs of Christian's second rehearsal. We're waiting for the third one. Pretty much between the first and the second one, there wasn't really too much changes, really, to be seen or to be heard. But he has delivered vocally very, very well through all the run-throughs that we've seen today, and we're now going to see the third one. So I'm going to be quiet for a moment. So I don't know if you guys can hear, but on the screen you can see these like raindrop visuals, and you hear them when the intro's coming in.
Gonna take my body down. Let the
I'm gonna fill up my bottle.
Just float away.
Thank you for your kind words, Bubble Pirate. We're glad you joined us.
Thank you. We got Gevor Sargsyan saying, showing some love for Armenia and Estonia.
Well, we all love Estonia's song and staging.
Just float away. Bury all my things, bury my skin, all that I've done, oh Lord, I've done. You want to be king.
See, seeing it again, I think on side and review it's a bit OTT.
I think it would work better on a closer shot.
Yeah. Like the idea was good, but then you execute it better, I think.
In the Gonna take my body down, right down to the river.
Did we have that closing shot before?
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember seeing the dancers like that.
That was nice. That was a nice way to end.
But to a certain extent, I do feel like, obviously the song talks about a river, and obviously a river has water, and they're kind of thinking, okay, well, water, let's have water on stage. I feel like in some places it's a bit too literal, with all the water graphics and sounds coming on. Maybe that's just me.
In this case, I'm okay with it because it's part of the feeling. You know, there's a flow. Like it's not all spelled out to you. Some of it is implied, and then it kind of accents everything. You know, I think being too literal would be like a literal river.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was all that we saw for Poland. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the comments that we had. We just saw the postcard from Montenegro, and they will be starting momentarily. And as I understand, I haven't seen anything of this, but you have said that she's dressed quite nicely.
Yes, normally she is this kind of artist that dresses very extravagantly. She calls it avant-garde fashion, which is a very dignified name. I think that it was one of the things that was stated before, that it made her seem a little bit unapproachable with that very unrelatable with that sort of display of high fashion. And this time she's toned her dress down. It's what we saw in the pictures of her first rehearsal was a very nice electric blue dress with some sewn-ons that seemed from here that seemed a little bit like her skin color type, and the craziness. Ooh, we just saw the craziness.
Oh.
She does it
Okay.
visually stunning.
The craziness is this gigantic circle that is attached to her dress, which probably is going to light up.
Oh, it's on her dress.
It's like some wings, like peacock. It reminds me of a peacock.
It's definitely an interesting choice, and I'm excited to see how it's going to probably be used.
Maybe it's like the helix, the helix of a plane you just gotta take off.
Oh my gosh. So we're getting a little bit of a closer shot, seeing her dress being adjusted. She's in front of the waterfall on the mini stage up front.
I am very curious, to say the least.
M&M's, sympathy to the injured leg, please, that I can't go out for shopping. You should get someone to shop for you.
Or we could do it online.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I mean, you could. Yes, that's true. Maybe not just for M&M's.
Get some nutritious food too.
Vincent F saying
Nurture your body.
Poland will get the jury votes. Justina saying Ahmed Slade. Sorry, I just went to the other half of your name. Says I think it will be. Ry Bailey says I think it will qualify, but could be a shock NQ.
I don't see Poland as a non-qualifier.
No.
Yeah, I have a hard time. It would be a shock.
Oh yeah.
Like that would be a shock.
The shock would be there for sure.
How is Cyprus's second rehearsal?
Very good.
Certain things we're not 100% sold on, but the sensuality comes through, and there are certain images that are very striking, especially combining the water feature, the waterfall at the front of the stage with the seashell and the waves off to the sides. That works quite nicely.
Bye bye, Ry Bailey.
Bye.
Take care,
Thank you
Ry
for
Bailey.
joining.
It's very nice to have you on our live stream. Are we polite? Are we nice?
Hello
That's what I like
to
about you. You're so polite.
so to Nargis. How many will go through to the final?
All
Of
them.
these, Azerbaijan, Australia, and Poland. I think
I
all
think
of them.
All of those are a short qualifier.
Clara and I have not seen Azerbaijan yet.
Are we
Just
seeing
did.
them later on?
No, because they rehearsed yesterday.
Okay.
We were out interviewing. But Australia and Poland, I think, have pretty good chances. That's the problem, Clara. My friends are only shopping healthy food for me. That means your friends care about you, and maybe once your leg has recovered, then you can treat yourself to some M&Ms.
Actually, yeah. I don't like sweets very much, but I treat myself to wine and beer. Those would be my sweets for me.
Yeah.
See, I treat myself to that and like chocolate and crisps and takeaway. Yeah.
I like all kinds of food for the most part. There's very few types of food that I don't eat, but when it comes to my regular habits, I tend to have like a healthy diet. I think about incorporating lots of vegetables, having a balance of carbs, fats, and proteins, and all that.
Same.
But when it comes time to enjoy food, I enjoy food. I don't skimp out on things. I don't make myself feel guilty, because you shouldn't make yourself feel guilty about that. Okay, we're getting the postcard from Montenegro, which means we should be going into our first take of the second rehearsal. Oh, we saw her as a kid.
Yeah, surprise.
I thought the light being projected from Leo was coming from her boobs. It's the angle.
No sé por qué da tanto miedo nuestras tetas.
Anyway, this is a different song.
Shame, I like the one we were singing better.
It's a nice opening shot.
The visuals are really good. She's the sun herself.
Nothing feels the same.
silver projections next to her.
Mhm. So either that light is failing or those flashes are on purpose, which seem a bit weird.
I think they're too faint. I understand what she's trying to do, but they're too faint.
Oh yeah, it does light up.
Mm.
The circle that she has behind her has some light details on it.
Oh, now.
That's pretty cool.
She is definitely covering up the sun with another kind of sun. So it's more like a peacock thingy in a way. Yeah, she has a circle of LEDs attached to her dress. I think this is the most budget I've seen for Montenegro. But that makes her have to stand. The fact that the circle is attached to her dress, I don't think it's giving her that much mobility.
Probably not.
And she's not on stage, she's in the platform, this catwalk thingy.
So as we
She's singing in Italian now.
Yep. As was hinted at.
She's saving her vocals.
Yeah.
I think one thing that Montenegro does very well is they are closing the shots on her figure, so the sun is really not, the actual sun is really
I
not.
had in few moments the sound was off. Like
The sun, she's talking about the sun she's wearing.
The sound, I thought the sound was off. Yeah.
I'll be honest, that didn't wow me.
No.
She looked beautiful and stunning with her dress and this kind of circle prop that she has attached to her. The lighting, I think, is beautiful, especially at the end when we get these more white lights coming through. But overall, I think it's a bit too simple. There's not a lot drawing me in, and she's too static.
I just don't see the connection with what she's wearing and what she's singing about.
Well, yeah, I kind of agree. The thing is, I like what I'm seeing for the most part. The things that I don't like are at the side. I don't know if like the projections had frozen or something, or if it was meant to be like that, because there's these kind of almost like mannequin-like figures that are to the side of the sun, and they're kind of as a mannequin is frozen in place, and they're bare-chested.
They look like sculptures. Like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they look like foil paper.
Oh yeah.
And that would be the best way to describe it, because they're silvery, but there's like lights and shadows over them. So it's like foil paper visually.
They have a very effective opening and closing shot, which are kind of bookends of each other. It's one. It's a crane shot that starts from behind and then is pointing down, flips around so that she's always in the middle, and you're kind of introducing her from behind the circle that she's got wearing on her back, and then to her front, and then when the song closes, it does the reverse, which I quite like.
But like Clara said before, I feel like this circle thing she has is restricting her and keeping her in one place. I think it would be nice to see her move around the stage, but I understand it must be difficult with what she's wearing.
This song is the song where to get the high notes you like kneel down a little bit, or like crouch down a little bit to get to enhance some of the things that you're singing, but you're singing like this static most of the time. I think there's some kind of connection that gets missed.
But again, as you said, it sounds like she's also preserving her vocals in some moments. In others, she did go for the higher notes. Yeah. And I do think, just talking about the general aspects about this entry, not a lot of people are sold on the song itself. Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful Balkan ballad.
Yeah.
That's sung beautifully by Vladana, but it's not very memorable for me personally.
Very well produced as well. Like great instrumentation. Everything sounds very comfortable.
Great vocalist.
Yeah, great vocalist. Me, the biggest issue has always been the lyrics. They sound a bit clunky.
Yeah.
And Marika also said that she finds the Italian lyrics to also be a bit clunky as well, which is a shame. But let's talk to some of you.
Let's talk to you now.
Yeah. Hi. Either George or Jorge Costa. Bless you. Let us know where you're from. Someone that likes the Italian part. He says it's beautiful.
Okay.
What are our personal top threes? Go ahead, Clara.
San Marino, Sweden, and Ukraine, I would say.
Okay.
Sweden, Iceland, Malta.
Serbia, Sweden. What's the other one? Is it Italy? Is it Ukraine? Is it? Which one is it? I have it here somewhere.
Or you could be like Samuele and have every song in your top three.
No.
I love you, Samuele. Don't worry.
And Italy. There we go. That should have been a lot easier to drum up.
But what is your personal top?
Yeah, let us know as well while you're waiting. And what do you guys think about?
What you waiting for?
What do you think about Montenegro as well?
I don't think it's qualifying, but I think this is a commendable effort from everyone involved. And the only this would have qualified a few years ago, but the thing is, everyone is bringing their A game to this semi-final. The staging is there. They have a really great vocalist. It's just the song is not connecting.
Yeah, and that's more or less how I feel too.
Same.
Like we said for Armenia, great to see Montenegro back as well.
For sure.
Yeah, and hopefully somebody was asking about other countries that we'd want to see, and really, I just think we want to see some people who have stepped away, some countries who have stepped away come back, like Hungary. Hungary was such a favorite of ours, really.
And Slovakia also has brought us really good visuals and songs.
But in terms of new countries, I would love to see Liechtenstein in the contest. That would just be like, imagine watching a Liechtenstein national final. That would be so cool.
How do you call someone from Liechtenstein?
Liechtenstein, yeah.
I can't even say the country.
It could
Liechtenstein. Almost Germans.
Harry's favorites before the show are Sweden, Australia, and Italy. Alan Kirby's are Australia, France, and United Kingdom. Vincent F's are Norway, Spain, and San Marino. From Portugal. Okay, so George's top three are Lithuania, Serbia, and Italy. Stephen J. Sorry.
And guilty pleasure is Romania.
Stephen J's are Spain, Portugal, and UK. Harry says very likely to change his top three soon.
It changes constantly. That's the beauty of Eurovision. And that's why I think Eurovision is so attractive to so many people, because you have some thoughts and then you watch the rehearsals and then they change and then someone does something and it changes again. And I don't know, it's really,
Okay, we're getting a second take of Vladana with Montenegro. Yeah, this opening shot is great. Really, really great.
Very elegant.
Oh. At the moment, she's completely
I don't think
unlit.
that's supposed to be.
It might not be. We'll see what happens when she is lit. When she is lit. Yeah, that might have been what they chose to do. Either that or it came at a convenient time. Sorry.
That's an interesting choice then.
The air is what they need. Air is what they breathe. To die
It's a very soothing song.
It's unforgivable.
Breathe, breathe, fly for your life. Breathe, breathe.
Just live and dream that we will be reborn. Our soul find themselves again in the sweat.
Thank you, Donatello. We'll have some more comments after we kind of take this in. So in case you're like, why would I watch three people just sitting there?
I feel like sometimes the circle crop gets lost amongst the backdrop.
I'll do my best, Nicola. She's wearing this kind of light up circle thing that's sort of see-through. And yeah, it makes kind of like ripples at moments. She's standing on the stage, the smaller stage up front, so the waterfall is behind her. From an aesthetic point of view, it's pretty simple. You see, some details that mimic water and air, and as Clara said, kind of like tinfoil in the backdrops.
Her circle is not like this on this path.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But she's a very expressive lady.
Mhm.
Maybe on the third run, everything is lit.
Mhm. It's also very blue. And one thing I was thinking of is that we go from one very blue and like quite a dark performance to another, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, there are quite different songs, so maybe it's not that big of a deal, but
this is just going to make Romania stand out.
yeah. Well, especially because Romania is very red and gold and black.
And very high beat.
Mhm.
Not high beat, but like, tempo.
High energy, yeah.
There's
Mhm.
tempo.
Vincent F saying she sounds better, it seems. Yeah, I'd say
Yes.
better
Yeah.
than the last take, yeah. I think she never seems to quite get that high note, but it's not as if it's a huge miss. It's just not what it's supposed to be. But I mean, she's definitely improving each time.
But then also she could be holding back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is only a
I
rehearsal.
think she gotten the high note in most of the pre-parties. So.
George is saying, I like that Vildana sung Senhora do Mar. Oh, she
Oh.
did.
Yeah, in the home concert thingies.
Cool. It's your favorite Portuguese entry of all time, and she sung it very well. Is that, you would know,
Senhora
2009?
2008,
2008.
13th place.
Nice. Sharia saying her vocals improved.
Mm.
George saying, I think she deserved a better song. She's a great singer.
Yes.
She is, yeah.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I mean, it is also one that she wrote herself
Yeah.
and inspired by
She wrote with some co-writers.
I think Darko Dimitrov.
Yeah.
Darko Dimitrov. Well, I believe he might have been more with the instrumentation and composition and production. But what I was going to say too is that it is also inspired by her mom, who passed away with COVID. So, obviously, very, very touching sentiment, I would say.
So then I wouldn't necessarily say that I would like her to come back with a better song, because there's nothing wrong with this, but it would be nice to see her do something different that suits her better.
Some people have suggested, and I'm not normally a supporter of the idea that it's better if it's in a different language, but maybe if it was in Montenegrin or Serbian, it would have, that audience might have appreciated the lyrical content of it better,
I was
because
thinking the same.
in English it doesn't really cut it for us, certainly. And I mean, apart from someone who seems to really like the Italian, America, on the other hand, does not really like the Italian version. Hello to Hermione Vision. Vladana visited Helsinki and spoke to a Finnish UMCO podcast, and she said that if she qualifies, she will sing some parts not only in the Italian version, but in the Finnish as well.
Oh, there is a Finnish version?
There is.
There is.
Is there how many versions of this song?
I think just those three.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's done one in Montenegro, and I don't know.
Mariano's top three are Italy, Spain, and San Marino. Sharia saying Andromachi told the conference she had a lot of in-ear issues. Well, we saw, and we haven't, up until then, we hadn't seen any rehearsals stopped fully, and her third...
She did ask to stop it.
Yeah, exactly.
The siesta monster is hitting me.
The what?
Siesta monster.
Oh, hey, if you need to take a break,
No,
take a break.
I can pull through. I think I can pull through.
All right.
Do you need coffee?
We have 3 more left.
So we have one more take of Montenegro, and then after that, Belgium, Sweden, and the Czech Republic.
Alrighty. It sounds like a typical Italian. Maybe that's the reason why she recorded an Italian version. I don't think she will qualify because it's kind of forgettable, although not bad at all.
I think it's going to struggle to stand out.
I do think so too. Yeah. Esperanza saying, as someone who had gone through the same agony of losing a loved one due to COVID, I can totally connect with Dana-san. Pain, sorrow, and bitterness. I'm not sure.
Maybe?
Depicts. Oh, yeah. Can they do that? Change the lyrics? No.
Not at this stage.
Yeah.
No. We have to inform Eurovision about everything that's going to supposedly happen on stage. Otherwise...
If you have an alternate version already, I believe that so long as it fits the staging and it's not like you don't have to start from the ground up, then I think that's permitted. Anyway, we're getting our final take of Montenegro.
Oh yeah, the thin circle thing has lights.
Oh, and her dress.
New dress?
Yeah, in the front. Which makes the fact that she is not lit at all, she's a complete silhouette in the beginning. That makes that
better.
Yeah, exactly.
I like this.
Yeah, Esperanza says she depicted all of those emotions into her lyrics. Certainly, yeah. Sharia says, get Clara a cafe macchiato, she'll be fine.
I will go for a coffee eventually.
Pardon me?
Does that not hurt when you click?
No. It's relieving.
He also does that with his neck. You should hear that.
Oh, yeah.
His head is going to pop up and blow.
It's just air bubbles popping.
That's a great influence.
See, it's the fact that you were talking about it made me feel like, oh, I gotta crack it.
Let me hold your head. Just hold his body to the other side.
Or you could just like a Melanie Pereira and lift your head.
Oh, now everything is lit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, visually, it's really great.
Oh, yeah.
Hello to Tunahan T. Nice to see you from Turkey. So I'm wondering if she's going to commit to doing that softer, because I think that was kind of a rough part in the pre-parties, doing the fight for your life.
I love it. I love the rougher when it's rough.
I do too, but I think that she was again having a hard time getting the notes properly.
I know.
Sound was okay.
The sound was okay.
The sound is okay now. She wants you to know, all you at home. Right, Bailey, you missed. I don't remember when you left us exactly, but we just finished with Montenegro.
Yeah.
We're about to move on to Belgium. Before Montenegro was Poland.
Yep.
And I think
Which was quite polished.
A polished Poland.
Nicolas saying, Vladana said Montenegro has the smallest budget from all the countries this year. Does it show on the stage?
It does not
No.
show on stage.
No.
I would never. If you never mentioned that, I would have never have guessed it from watching the staging.
But I'm also kind of like, does she really know that? I accept that they probably didn't have the biggest budget, but does she know for a fact that it was the smallest?
Yeah, because Latvia doesn't seem to have a bigger budget either.
Because they spent it all on salad.
There was something spent on salad.
Very bad.
They're very, very expensive bougie salads that bankrupt you.
Avocados had to be flown.
Emma saying Turkey should come back. They had some beautiful entries.
Yes. I miss Turkey.
You too.
I've said this before. I'd be very curious to see how Turkey would approach Eurovision nowadays because it's changed so much, and they definitely couldn't come back doing what they were doing
Well,
before.
they have really good rock bands that they brought. So I think Turkey was always navigating between very ethnic pops like Serta Berener sort of style, and then Hadis, and then the rock from Manga, Morberezzi, and so on. So and Gian Duomo was quite theatrical.
And I mean, Turkey has a pretty big music scene, you know, they obviously have quite a big culture as well. So there's no shortage. It's just a matter of if they would get the right decision makers to catch up to everything that's happened since they've been gone. Bubble Pirate saying about Montenegro, the Italian version is way better. The only chance she had. Oh, so you think that she should do her song entirely in Italian? Tuna Hand saying most of the Turkish people want, but TRT doesn't. Last year they did say that he was in talks, so the book might not be completely closed. They might be writing a new chapter.
Ooh.
Hello again to Mr. System 96. Vincent F saying, "Oh my God, Clara, you hung out with Andre and Christian."
Yes, I did, and Stuart was there. He was the cameraman filming, and he does a little cameo.
Yeah, just a very, very tiny cameo.
It was completely by accident, actually. We had booked some time to interview Urs, and Okman just was there in the lobby walking around by himself because his delegation had decided to go on a field trip, but he wasn't feeling it because it was rainy and he wanted to take care of his boys, so he was just walking around, and he chose to hang out with us.
Yeah, we felt very, very lucky for that. And it was just a shame because we were gonna do a one-on-one interview with Urs, but
it turned out into a friendly meeting with people.
Yeah, and he had a very busy schedule, so we weren't able to do it in the end. But I believe Andy he may or may not have caught up with him at the press center. So nonetheless, we've caught up with Urs quite a few times over the season. He's been very
of interviews with Urs on our YouTube channel. As I always say, do not close this live stream, but open a new tab and go watch it there.
Or just come back with us when you want, because obviously, like it's a huge. We've been going for so long. I don't know.
My mom has been loving me for 30 years. People can come in to watch me.
My mum messaged me the other day and she was like, "Oh, I saw you on YouTube."
Oh, really?
And I'm like, "Well, yeah."
Where you been, Mom?
But like every time I'm in a video, she's like, "Oh, I saw you," and I'm like, "I'm glad you're watching."
Has she never seen anything that you've done with Eurovoxx before?
She has, but like she tunes in for like a few minutes and then she gets bored because she's not a big Eurovision fan. I have managed to get her to watch the final though on TV live.
Cool.
So that's now the voting is next.
Do your parents know where to find you on YouTube?
Me?
Yeah.
I've shown them a few things. I showed them the video we did about the Eurovision movie.
Oh, okay. Did your parents watch that, right?
They did, yeah. It was so. My mom was a bit of a skeptic because, like some people do, she saw Eurovision as just another kind of version of the Got Talent series or Idol and all that. And then when she watched the movie, which she quite enjoyed, she was like, "I see the appeal though." Now, although she hasn't actually properly watched Eurovision, the thing is, typically it's on a holiday weekend when they go up north. This year it's not, so I think that they'll watch it all together as a family without me.
So is it being broadcasted in Canada this year?
It can be broadcast, like you can watch it from everywhere.
Because sometimes they block it.
Some years have been geo-blocked in Canada, and the last 2 years have been on Omni on TV, but this year has since been discontinued on Omni, sadly. So hopefully it's still available on YouTube if you're watching in Canada. ESC Viral.
There should be a live stream from YouTube, from the actual Eurovision account.
Yes, but
That's geo-blocked?
There is.
so last year was not geo-blocked, which was new, because 2016 to 2019 were all geo-blocked. Anyway, Belgium.
And we have blue again.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I feel down. Sometimes I lose. Sometimes I fall. Sometimes I do wrong. One day I'm cool. One day I'm cold. And I've been trying to escape my past. Give up on the sadness that you left behind. I've been trying to erase my mind. It's still like a nightmare when I close my eyes. I'm not gonna miss you now.
He has a great voice. The stage right now is just blue and he's standing alone.
And he's wearing kind of silver and grey.
I'll never hate you, never chase you. Sometimes I feel good.
Now the beat kicks in.
Mm-hmm. Dancers are emerging.
The lighting is changing to some orangey and yellow and pulsating behind the stage.
And I've been trying to escape my past. Keep upon the sadness that you left behind. I've been trying to erase my mind, but you're still like a nightmare and I close my eyes.
The staging is very simple, like it's just... Well, it changed. Oh, like, look at that. The choreo is effective.
I never hate you, never chase you. Promise I won't miss you.
He's saving his voice because he can really blow you away with that voice. A lot of popping and locking.
Promise I won't miss you, and now I'm gonna break through. Now I'll never hate you, never change you. Never feel bad when you're gone. I lose it all. So I need more life. Sometimes I feel down. Sometimes I grow. Sometimes I fall.
It's too white in that part.
No, I don't mind that.
It goes through a lot of color transitions, though.
It does, yeah. Because it starts out blue, and then we get a bit more of like a black and orange, orangey red kind of thing. And then at the very end,
it's completely yellow, orange, and then at the completely last end, it just goes
white, yeah, and like quite a bright white. So I've been trying to think of like what would I want to say about this, like as far as my thoughts. I guess I just need to see it a few times. I don't dislike it by any means. I mean, as Clara said at the beginning, it's just him. The dancers emerge and they're fully visible by the time we get to the second chorus, I believe. And then we get, quite a choreographed performance. But yeah, I don't know. It's
I think it was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't wowing me, but he held his own.
Mm-hmm.
He and his dancers, the choreo is very good when it kicks in. The colours are very effective.
He looks good.
Yeah. Overall, it's a very good rehearsal from Jeremy.
Jeremy. And he's so much fun to hang out with. has a fantastic personality and a fantastic charisma.
Mm.
Tommy and I were watching the Madrid pre-party from the upper floor, and then we turned around and Jeremy was behind us, and he like came and like vibed with us and danced with us a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
yeah.
Let's talk to some of you. Tunaham saying Jeremy underrated. Flavio Girl also says, I agree, Jeremy, also so underrated. His song is so good, he needs to go to the finals. I think it's a pretty good proposal, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's very solid.
It does seem like there's something missing from
Yes.
the visuals.
Yeah, I was a bit slightly underwhelmed by
Mhm.
what I saw.
Mhm.
Mm.
But, vocally pretty good.
Mm.
Catchy song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rye Bailey says, I always love Belgium songs. Bubble Pirate saying, could be one of the NQ shockers.
Could be, actually. Maybe. Would be a shock.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that...
I don't think it's going to qualify though, but this is a great effort from the Belgian team, and this is a performance Jeremy can feel very proud of.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, there are more visually striking and sound striking songs, more surprising songs.
Just with respect to this comment from Mr. System 96, slightly different from a talent show. Talent shows are dragged out over several weeks. Yeah. So what I was saying was that was the impression that my mom had, that it was just like that. Obviously, like, it's adjacent, I would say. And we see a lot of people like Jeremy who have done the talent show circuit, participate at Eurovision as well. But it is really quite a thing of its own, and can't be put in a parallel position. That was a lot of P's.
Yeah.
Placed in a parallel position.
Placed in parallel position. This is a very interesting concept.
Twonk says, Clara, you look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Flavio Girl saying, oh my god, his vocal range is so amazing, he needs to go to the finals, please. I still feel like I'm more on the side of he will qualify than not, but I guess now having seen it, there is something that again is just a bit missing.
And then when you know other songs in this semi, it does make you wonder.
Although I would say that maybe if he was in semifinal one, I would be a little bit more concerned. I feel like a lot of people are calling this one the more competitive one.
I think it is.
I think it is too, because it's very clear for us and who more or less will qualify from the first semi, at least for me. And this one is like, anything could happen.
I feel like this is more or less what semifinal 2 was last year, where the quality was split, where you have a lot of heavyweights like Sweden, like Poland, Australia, and then there's sort of those on the lower end that you were not as certain about, and then there's less of the in between. Whereas in semi 1, there's a lot more of that kind of gray area. Although now that I think of it,
it's just so complex.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say complicated. I'm going to say complex, because that's a better wording, I think.
Tunahan saying even Hooverphonic just got 3 points in the grand final from the public, so it wasn't a shock.
Underrated.
Yeah, I mean,
it was never going to appeal to televote much anyway, in my opinion. It was more of a jury song, but still, it deserved more than 3 points, I think.
I have a fun behind-the-scene story regarding Hooverphonic. Tommy and I last year in Rotterdam had just made a video saying we didn't think it would qualify. The moment we pressed stop recording, Belgium TV approached us saying, "Hi, we need someone to tell us that they think they're gonna qualify, because even the king of Belgium has said they are not going to qualify.
Wow.
Can you do something?" And it was a very interesting point for us, because we could see, from our point of view, we can tell you as reviewers, we can tell you all of the good things that a song has, and also all of the negative aspects. So we had 2 videos pointing out the 2 different aspects of the song. So,
and that's so interesting to me, because I felt pretty confident in it qualifying, just because it was so different to the rest. Anyway, we're getting a second take right now. Beams of light at the start, I think, are a good opening.
I like the sparks effect.
It does look like sequins.
Yeah, I think maybe again I would like a little bit more darkness on him. I think maybe he's just a bit too flat for the duration of the performance.
I've been trying to erase my mind, but you see like a nightmare when I close my eyes. I'm gonna miss you now. Promise I'll miss you, but now I'm gonna break through.
He's very good.
I'll never hate you, never chase you. Sometimes I feel.
I will say that we very seldomly get R&B at Eurovision,
Yeah.
and I think that's a good position for this song to be in.
Out of the blue, I answer your call, and I've been trying to escape my past. Give up on the sadness that you left behind. I've been trying to erase my mind, but you're still like a nightmare, and I close my eyes. I'm gonna miss you now.
Now the lights have transitioned into a yellowish orangey tone. Reddish now.
Yeah.
It's a very good.
That moment when he leans and one of his dancers is holding his coat, I think I would love to see that closer. Giorgio says, I'm always nervous for the high notes, but he hits it.
He's doing a good job.
He's gonna hit all of those now.
Oh, yeah.
George feels that the song is a bit bland and generic, but he is a good singer.
Yeah. This is okay, but the singer is better than the song.
But I think,
the style suits him.
the style suits him. I think it's catchy. I think, for whatever reason, I just wish I liked it more than I do. I would be happier with it qualifying than not.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I fall.
He's very likable, has a great charisma, interacts with the camera.
Rabeli says, every year Belgium is underrated and a fantastic song in his opinion. Excuse me as I go to the bathroom.
Yep.
Oopsie.
We move over
I
here.
miss you now. Promise I miss you now.
See, that's what you guys are going to be saying when this live stream is over. You're going to miss us. And we're going to miss you,
You're gonna
obviously.
miss me when I'm gone. Oh.
Let's see. Tunahan is saying Sheldon Riley and Jeremy Macias are the best man singers for me this year.
Everyone, I think, they're very good vocalists.
Yeah.
Both of them. I would throw Othman in there.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
And that would be my best three vocalists when it comes to quality, and not quality, but how can I put it? It's not quality. It's not the word I'm looking for. It's
Emotion, expressive.
No. Well, let's go for quality, but it's not the right word, because you don't have to have a huge voice to make a song great. For example, maybe let's say Romania cannot. His vocal range is not so wide, but the song is fantastic and the charisma is fantastic.
Yeah, I think I would have to add Sam Ryder into the mix because I think his vocals are incredible. Flavia girl, yes, we are going to miss you guys after ESC but for people like us, Eurovision never ends.
Exactly.
It's 24/7, 365. So
That's a song too, right? 24/7, 365. I think that's
maybe. I don't remember. A Eurovision song?
No.
Oh, okay.
You would know that for sure.
Let's see. Vincent F, you guys work so hard on all the content you're releasing. Thank you. Thank you for
watching it.
Yeah, for watching, for I hope subscribing, and for just being with us, and for listening to us chat about Eurovision, about food, about anything. So while waiting for Sweden, Barbara Dex Award for this year.
Oh, I had the announcement for this the other day, but now I don't remember who I was giving it to.
So I think they are going to retire this and possibly rename it something else. But I guess if I had to think of maybe the most striking outfit, I mean, it depends, because I mean, for me, Montenegro is a bit striking just because she has a big circle behind her, but not striking in a bad way. I mean, I guess Lauro really does impress with what he's wearing.
But in a positive, not in the
Yeah.
Barbara Drex way, in a positive,
Yeah.
really cool way. I'm gonna miss you. No.
Katy Perry song 365.
Yeah.
Thank you, ESC Viral.
That's one that the song reminds you of?
No,
No.
because I said something about. No, she said,
Because I said once Eurovision for us is 365, 24/7.
and I said, "Oh, that's a song."
There we go. Isn't the box a good solution?
Oh, yeah.
So we're up higher.
I love it.
Eurovoxx. The Eurovoxx.
The Eurovoxx. Did you talk about this?
No, not yet.
Okay. You guys talked about your favorite ESC songs. Mine is Loreen Euphoria. So glad that I found her. She can sing everything. She's versatile and really talented. I just love Loreen's art. Me too. Have you heard any of Loreen's other stuff apart from
Yes.
Euphoria? Yeah?
Yeah, I like her. It's very anthemic and very not anthemic in like a. Her imagery is very anthemic though. It's very universal. It's I don't know. I like her because she's a documentary director. That's where she started.
Really?
Yeah. She did She was really good with camera work and so on, and she was in the visual world.
Oh.
I would never have guessed that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's why her performance is so different because she directed it herself in a way. She was very involved with the shots and everything and the conceptualization of it.
Yeah, she's really a visionary. And I think that a lot of people point to that performance as being, something that changed Eurovision for the better and made it very cinematic. So yeah, absolutely, and that makes a lot of sense now that you've said that. Yes, I've heard a lot of Loreen's stuff that she's done after Eurovision, and
My Heart Is Refusing Me.
Yeah.
The one with the flags that she went to Melody Festival and went.
Statements.
Yes, that one. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, that was so great. But we can talk a lot about that another time. We've got another take of Belgium.
Take 3.
Take 3.
Sometimes I feel down. Sometimes I move. Sometimes I fall. Sometimes I. Sorry, but I'm here as somebody. Sorry, it's because I can't sing. Sorry.
Okay.
He was having he was hearing someone talking.
I can't sing like that. Sorry.
Yeah, I was
so
wondering.
polite for saying sorry, even though it's not.
What?
He just seems so polite, constantly apologizing.
I know a thing or two about that. I'm always curious as to what's happening there. If maybe the people who are sound checking, so in this case it would be Sweden, if their signal is getting crossed and that he's picking up their feed rather than his own.
That's interesting. What I understood is that someone in the production is giving orders through the thingy and it's going through his.
Could be. Yeah. They might have the intercom up. Yeah. But what else are you saying here? Talking about the Barbadex Award. It's not called the Barbadex Award anymore. We don't know yet what it's going to be called. I think I would be in favor of the Verka Sudichka Award simply because I think it would embrace the idea that Barbadex has been going for more often now anyways, in order to make it like who is purposefully going for outrageous and not who looks the trashiest.
Yes.
Here we go.
Sometimes I feel down. Sometimes I move. Sometimes I fall. Sometimes I do wrong. One day I'm cool. One day I'm cold. And I've been trying to escape my past. Give up on the sadness.
No beers right now, I have to say.
It's Friday. I guess we will do something about it.
Vincent F. They're not the most comfortable chairs, I have to say. They're like the ones you would sit on in school.
Me and Cara have like cushions as pillows.
chase you. Sometimes I feel, sometimes I lose my mind and my soul. That's when I see you. And out of the blue, I answer your call.
That looks pretty good.
And I'm trying to escape my best. Keep up all the sadness that you left behind. I've been trying to erase.
I like the strange arrangement.
It feel like a nightmare and I close my eyes. I'm gonna miss you now. Promise I will miss you now. I'm gonna break through now. I'll never hate you, never chase you. Miss you now. Promise I will miss you now. I'm gonna break through now. I'll never hate you, never chase you. Gotta make it to the bright side. I've been lying when I said I'm fine. Gonna find a way to feel alive. I'm gonna miss you. Promise I will miss you. But now I'm gonna break through. Now I'll never hate you. Never change you.
So I think I have it down now. What I think is the missing element for me. I don't think that the camera work really supports it that well, and the lighting. I wish there was more dynamic lighting on him. The surrounding lighting works pretty well, but on him it's kind of flat, I find.
Makes sense. That's it.
Sometimes I pull, sometimes I fall.
Yeah, that's great. It's a great ending.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right.
That was good.
Muy bien.
Um,
Sweden next.
this is very interesting.
Come out a minute.
ESC Viral says the beat and strings reminds him of Crimea River by Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
Yes.
I can see that.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Clara, what is your favorite Dutch entry? Bubble Pirates is the common linnets.
My favorite Dutch entry is Anouk with birds falling
Ah.
down. Birds falling down on the rooftop.
Mine is also Common Linnets from 2014, and I would say Arcade is probably a close second.
Mm-hmm.
Nice for you to hang out with us, Tunahan. Have
See you
a good day at
soon.
work. Rye Bailey's are OG Lights and Shadows.
Mm.
And Vincent F, have you been able to forget The Sun is Broken? In
Yes,
most performances, I would say yes. The one that seemed to obstruct
Estonia would be the most noticeable. Estonia is the one I cannot forget about it, but other than that, everyone has hidden it pretty well, or used it in a different way that has not made it so obvious.
Yeah, exactly. And I think really the issue in Estonia is the fact that they're going for a landscape, and having that in the way is not working.
I'm just not sure why Estonia hasn't decided to go for a different concept, knowing this doesn't really work for them.
I mean, it's probably too late.
It's called budgeting. Who said that Montenegro had less budget?
Although, would you get the impression that Estonia wouldn't have,
Yes.
as in like
As
if there was a bottom 5 for budget, would Estonia
it would be
that low?
Estonia, and it would be Latvia and Montenegro. Yes.
What about Moldova, Lithuania? Well, depending on
Moldova.
depending on who.
Those would be
Because we've definitely seen Moldova with a higher budget before, but that might have had something to do with who had their pockets in there, or who was emptying their pockets. But anyway,
well, if you stick there your producing rights and songwriting credits and so on, you can recover that money later on with the
That's
streams
true.
and so on.
That's true. Well, sort of. There's not a lot of money making in that nowadays, unfortunately.
Yeah, but still.
At a Eurovision level, you probably have a better opportunity than
Yeah.
most, but you have to get there first.
Ooh, our favorite adulting site.
Mhm.
Adult dating site. Oh, we have
Pretty
Frida
sure.
Cornelia.
Yes, we can see Cornelia. She's getting set up. JSC PT asking, how is North Macedonia?
Quite good, considering the budget. No, she did really well. She's a very expressive, emotive performer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hypnotized by Cornelia's forehead. Like the camera is going up and down Cornelia, I guess, trying to level her or something.
Yeah, because they're definitely setting up that opening shot. But yeah, I would agree that she was really good. I think visually what we saw, it suits what's going on. But you know, again, I think that you know there is a missing element for it to make it more competitive. It's not the most competitive song, but she's doing her thing, and we respect her for that. Rye Bailey saying, looks like the UK spent a lot this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sam Ryder, being who he is, having such a presence on TikTok and him being a big name on some platforms, he wouldn't allow risking mockery of his performance. So he must really have a grip on what's going on stage. And
also, the thing about TV production is that it's not always about how much you spend, it's how much it looks like you spend.
Yeah.
And that's really where the mastery comes in, making it look expensive even if it's not. Because if you ever go and see like a TV set in person, you'll be surprised. Up close, it's quite cheap.
Yes, indeed.
Have you ever been on a Eurovision stage?
Yes.
Like, oh yeah,
standing on it, you mean?
Yeah, as in like seeing it up close. In that way.
Yes. And
what year?
2014.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then when we worked for when we did press for Estilaul, Estonia is very open to everything, so you can just go down and like stand on the stage, Estilaul stage. And Estilaul stage is where Eurovision 2002 was held in Tallinn. So it's they're using the same stage and the same venue for Estilaul.
Vincent F asking, will we be live during the semis in the final?
Yes, most likely.
For the I've never been here for this, but do we do a broadcast during the semi as well? Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty.
We don't have to be as talkative because we want to watch it too, but you can see us, and in between songs we can read comments and if you don't have anybody to watch it with, you can always count on us.
First Eurovision I watched it by myself.
All by yourself.
Speaking of, Celine Dion.
A Canadian that is.
Although that's not her song. It was. I mean, she's a singer. No, I don't think she writes songs, but
Celine Dion. Some songs I think she has written.
But anyway, that song in particular was released before, and that was a cover.
We actually have a Spanish version of that song.
How does it sound?
Solo otra vez, no sé vivir. Solo otra vez, sin amor. This is me doing like horrible mockery vocals. It's not how I really sound.
Hashtag get Clara to Betty Dorfest 2023.
Yeah. I can. You know what I've heard, that when you do parody or mockery, you actually sound better than when you're actually singing, because it's not a reflection of who you are as a vocalist, so you have less pressure. Potentially, yeah. I guess maybe not everyone does.
It's like if you still have enough technique to do it, then, because I don't think I could sound good.
Try
a mock. Okay, well, I guess I'll do Celine Dion.
Yeah, please try Celine Dion. You can do Titanic if you want.
When I was young, didn't need it. I don't know.
You know what my favorite Celine Dion song is? It's All Coming Back.
That's yeah.
But it's all. There were moments that
But that's a Roxette song originally, isn't it?
Oh, really?
I don't know for sure, but
I love Roxette. I listen to a lot of their songs, and that was something that has completely slipped through my knowledge.
Emo's favorite Belgian entry is Loic with Rhythm Inside.
Yeah,
I really like that one.
I like that one too. And Roberto Barbosa, Was
Oh,
Rosa,
yeah.
Rosa. Love kills over and over.
Do we feel, because that was 2013, the opinion that I have and the opinion that I hear from a lot of other people, because obviously that was well after I started watching the contest, is that was a pretty weak year.
I personally wouldn't say it was a
Let
weak
me
year.
see who was there. And
I think it was quite a high standard final.
But that would have been my favorite song from 2013. And there's like probably maybe 2 or 3 other songs that I would listen to, and then the rest.
I like that one. Not a fan of Loic though. Rhythm and Side. Never been a fan of
No?
This is not helping me at all.
But my favourite Belgian entry is Sanomi by Urban Trad.
Salome, da, da,
Do the hand motions.
Yeah, okay, that was not the best Eurovision, definitely.
I personally love 2013.
Oh, Only Teardrops, I like that one.
But I guess compared to some other years, it's maybe compared to maybe 2016, for example, 2018.
I
it wasn't
broke
as
up with a
strong.
boyfriend 2 weeks before Eurovision because I knew Eurovision was coming, so I was not going to be so upset about it. And I remember I cried a week before. Then Eurovision hyped it up, and I was like so high, like, I'm not missing it. This is so cool. 2 weeks later. So Only Teardrops has a special meaning.
Clara was all like, I don't need you.
Yeah. No, I was like, Oh, this was Anouk, where Anouk was performing.
Yes, yeah, that would be like song number 2. That
And Alcohol is Free. That was amazing.
That's a great one.
Thank you, Flavio Girl. She says we're so entertaining.
We try to be.
I'm glad.
I think we all have siblings. I don't think our siblings would agree that we are so entertaining. They're really annoyed by us normally.
Yeah.
Mihail is saying that we have better voices than some contestants. No.
We should do one karaoke night like the Eurovoxx
Oh
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
We need to do this.
Well, it's Friday night.
If anybody in Turin knows where to karaoke.
Yeah, let us know. Well, let us know privately.
Why? Because they're going to show up?
No, just privately so that it's not on the internet.
Oh!
Anyway.
How can we put ourselves in more of a ridiculous spot than we've already have during these live streams? Can it get worse?
I guess that's the challenge.
Is
Let's
it
talk a little bit
yes?
about let's talk a little bit about Sweden, because Sweden is the one that we're waiting on.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm most curious about this one, because we are expecting it to be very similar to the Belfast performance, the fact that she's not going to be close up to the audience this time, and how they will work around that.
Sorry, I'm still thinking about karaoke. Sorry, can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
So the curiosity I have about, well, it wasn't much of a question, but maybe you agree. We're about to find
I
out.
cannot agree on that because we just got two.
We just got the postcard, yeah.
So what was your curiosity?
If because she's not going to be right up to the audience like she was in Melfest, how they're going to work around that, and if they're going to.
Is she not going to be on the smaller bit of stage in front? Maybe.
Probably. Because it will be farther away from the farther away from the unworking sun. Okay. Oh, Flavio, you're from Miami.
Oh,
Still Friday morning.
nice.
Or you live in Miami. I'm sure you could be from anywhere.
Okay.
Oh.
Your microphone is not working.
Can't hear her. Oh.
Her microphone is not working and it just buzzed on her.
Yeah.
So it's.
It sounds super. Everything is. Hello.
It's me.
It's doing like electronic sounds in my ears from the mic. Hello. Okay, now the mic is fine, and I don't hear any of the music.
She's not hearing the music and the microphone was buzzing on her and on her in-ears.
I guess there's been a lot of that today. A lot of technical issues.
we are getting a broader shot, and there's two production people on stage talking to Cornelia, but we have seen the circle, and the light of the circle looks cool.
And so one of the things that I guess they need to do to prepare for this performance is rather than having the camera on a Steadicam, it would be handheld, because she's so low on the ground that you, with the structure of the Steadicam, you would have to be lower. In fact, maybe, can we see it?
Oh, the Steadicam.
In this case, what I'm saying is that because the Steadicam itself, the apparatus is quite large, and it's meant to be level with your torso.
Yeah.
Whereas in this case, because she's seated, in order to get down to her eye level, it would probably have to come off that, and it would be a handheld camera.
Yeah.
Kind of like how, for different reasons, but the final shot in France's performance last year was also handheld, rather than being on a Steadicam. Semele saying, "Are we going up clubbing tomorrow night?"
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe we'll wait for Semele to do karaoke, because Semele likes to audition in live streams like he did yesterday.
Yeah.
And Harry's down for a karaoke night. All right.
Voxoki. Let's do this.
Justina says she wants us for ESC 2023.
But as the presenters on stage, because I don't know if you want us to sing.
And also, we need to decide who.
Oh,
we're gonna
look
sing
at this!
for.
Oh, sorry. There was a huge target on or like camera thingy over the circle. So right now the green circle has a cross and some circles around it.
Yeah, my guess would be to line it up and make sure that it's in the position that it needs to be.
Oh, and it changes color. The green changes color. Then.
Twonk saying, Ireland looks so good today. Do you think Brooke will qualify?
Maybe
borderline.
Borderline.
Twonk is asking, what would be our first karaoke song? Jess?
Eurovision or not Eurovision?
Whichever song. Any song in the world.
Well, non-Eurovision, my go-to karaoke song is I Want Love by Jessie J.
Oh.
Or my second choice would be Holding Out for a Hero. But Eurovision terms, probably Beauty Never Lies or Rise Like a Phoenix.
Okay.
My non-Eurovision will be Celine Dion, It's All Coming Back. And my Eurovision song, I would like to try Hold Me Closer.
All right. So it looks like this one's going to be a go.
No need to apologize, 'cause there's nothing to regret. Well, this is not what I want.
The camera getting close up and personal with Cornelia.
So baby, bye-bye. Wish you the best. But most of all, I wish that I could love you less. Or maybe you're right, I'll find someone else. You say it isn't me, but when will that ever help? Hold me closer, although you leave for the silence. I'll be bleeding, but don't you mind, I'll be fine. Oh, it kills me, I found the right one at the wrong.
Sorry, we're not talking there.
Yes, we're taking this one in because it's our first take, so we'll report back to you. Oh.
I don't think she's hearing herself very well. She didn't seem that comfortable.
Yeah, I
on
felt
the first takes.
Yeah. Although she didn't stop.
Yeah.
It seems that somebody else had stopped it before.
Because it sounded like she was slightly off time towards the end when it cut off.
Yeah.
She had this a little bit irritated look.
So my go-to karaoke song. Funny enough, typically it would be Dean Martin, That's Amore. But I don't.
Which one?
That's Amore.
I don't know.
When the moon hits you.
I like a big
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Well, not that deep, but anyway.
Okay, I've never heard this song, but that sounded, your vocal sounded really good.
I would never do that song in Italy. She would be like, yep, there's a tourist.
Actually, my Eurovision karaoke song is Only Two Drops.
The thing about Eurovision songs is that they tend to be very hard to sing. I think that something that would probably be a little bit more comfortable for me would be like Calm After the Storm.
Euro.
Euro, 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 euro. I have no ambition for a high position in the competition. I only got one rule: always stay cool like a swimming pool.
See, nailed it, nailed it.
Give me chance to refine it.
I'm surprised
What?
I know all the words to that.
I love Euro Nero.
I can't say that I have the same thoughts.
I
but
know,
okay. I'm
I
glad
know.
it's got love from somewhere.
You know what would be a cool song for the whole Eurovoxx team to do in karaoke? Pirates of the Sea.
I love that song.
With a high, 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 and high, high. You could see a lot
I'll
of
sit
people.
out.
You could see a lot of people jamming to that one.
I'll record it. What would be your if you go to karaoke, or even if you don't, and you just like, you know, if you had the confidence, which you should anyway, but what are your go-to karaoke songs? Harry says, I've actually sang Arcade in a school concert before. Oh wow, that's really cool. Is there video of that?
Yes,
We promise
need
we
to
won't
see this.
we won't put it out to people, but we'd love to see it for ourselves.
I did a singing casting when I used to be into music, and I did a casting and I sang Only Teardrops, and I actually qualified for the next round, but I didn't go to because I was supposed to move to Sweden that day.
Sweden.
It never happened.
Oh.
Because I choked on the airport and I called my mom, I don't want to really go.
Oh.
And I was like, I was old. I was 25
Oh.
or 24 at that point. So,
What scared you about Sweden?
I got my first job and it was like an office job. I was supposed to write for some sort of trip advisor about traveling, but I would have to sit in an office, and it was so expensive. I actually had been scammed with a flat. The flat didn't exist, and I had to then very last minute, and I found out just with a week before my flight, and everything suddenly was just so monumental that I started crying in the airport in the middle of the night. No,
I know you're fine now, but
I recovered clearly. But
I'm expressing my sympathy for past you.
Yeah,
That's it.
past me. Yeah, and I wasn't even departing from Valencia. My mom actually drove me 2 hours to Alicante, and at like 2 a.m, and at 3 a.m, I called her, Mommy, I don't want to go, and she like turned back with the car, and yeah.
Shout out to Belen.
Yeah, shout out to Belen, which is Santa Belen. Today's Belen's name day in Spain, so if you know any Belens, that's why I called her today. My mom called this morning.
Samuel's go-to karaoke song is Next to Me by Imagine Dragons.
Ooh, nice.
Nicholas R. PT's done. Congratulations. That, I would totally do that well, maybe not. Probably have to work on my survey. Anyway, Sweden.
Cause there's nothing I regret. Well, this is not what I want. Cause all the good things come to an end. So baby, bye bye. My mic is disting. But most of all, I wish
Her microphone is not working as she wants to.
Well, maybe you're right. I'll find someone else. You say it isn't me, but when did that ever help?
She's trying her best.
Yeah.
Hold me closer, I'll go and leave for the sunrise. I'll be bleeding, but don't you mind? Be fine. Oh, it kills me. I found the right one at the wrong time. Until the sunrise. Hold tight. Maybe it happened too fast.
This is a bit different.
Flashes.
I guess that I understand. You say that you never felt this way for anyone, and that's why it scares you to death. So baby, bye. No, it's for the best. Still, I
I need to close the shot because you can see the person turning the circle.
Hold me closer, I'll go with you for the sunrise. I'll be bleeding, but don't you mind? Be fine. Oh, it kills me. I found the right one at the wrong time.
The pulsating green light is fantastic.
Yeah.
now it's the green circle turned to red.
Cause tomorrow will hurt me bad. Cause I'm about to lose the best I ever had.
Wow.
Okay. Well, this one definitely doesn't suffer from the sun not working. Because actually creates a frame around it.
And it's flashing so many lights.
Mhm.
Really
Okay.
good.
Yeah. As it stands right now, it does need some work, but the effect is still there. The effect that we saw from Melfest.
The rawness is there. The rawness in her voice.
Yeah, and as we know, there have been some technical
like,
issues,
sound issues, but it looks really great.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely an elevation from what we saw, because you have when people say that when we were telling that she would not change the performance, it's not entirely true, because everything from Melfest is there, but now they just have like lights, like the very direct light. I don't know how to call those, like stream of lights that are
light
flashing.
beams.
Light beams, like flashing lights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, again, because this isn't like totally well-rounded yet, I'm still so attached to the Melfest performance. I've seen it so many times. I'm like, I can probably recall the shot list in my mind if expected. But yeah, I mean, I think the effect is still there. How do you feel, Jess?
I absolutely loved this performance. It did seem like slightly different to the Melfest performance that he elevated, mostly with kind of the lighting we see on stage. But I thought she did a fantastic job despite the technical issues going on. Some of the camera work, I think, needs to be kind of worked on a little bit in certain places, but otherwise it's incredible in my opinion.
Let us know what you think about Sweden. Emma says, I finally say this, I was never a huge fan of Hold Me Closer. I get shallow in the melody.
Yeah.
I've heard other people say that, but I don't know. I think it's one of those things that's like, yeah, it reminds me of it, but then you just kind of move on.
El Diablo was a mix of so many pop songs, so nothing ever happened to them.
I don't think that Lady Gaga is going to go trending on Twitter this time, like what's happened last year. What else are you saying? Oh, take care, Flavio. You might have already signed off, but
Hi, good evening.
The sentiment is returned. And some of you were telling us your karaoke songs. For Juan Castanellas, Amar Pelos Dois, I was actually supposed to do drag for the first time, singing it in the kind of Eurovision format charity event for cancer. Unfortunately, it was canceled due to the pandemic. Hopefully you'll get your moment to perform that song. That's really, it's really nice. And Rye Bailey, I saw that yours was Give That Wolf a Banana.
At least it's an easy one to sing.
Have you seen what Latvia has done today? They have bought 2 bananas each and taped it around their face and attempted the dance. Fun. That's what happens when you don't have Wi-Fi in your hotel, apparently.
Steve Gray asking us, you all previously said you don't think Ireland would qualify. What do you think after watching the rehearsals?
Same.
Still the same. I think what we agree is that it's tight. It is definitely tight, but my point of view is that there's a mismatch between the aesthetics and the feel of the song.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to qualify, but it's not going to be a terrible performance.
I mean, I could see this just missing out on qualification. So it was like 11th place possibly.
Yeah, and if it did, I wouldn't be mad.
No.
Yeah.
Because the opening is when you see the heart and Brooke is lying down with her dancers in the middle of the heart. That's a very powerful opening.
Yeah, totally.
Your battery is running low, Jessica.
Oh, Jessica.
Should we switch?
Yeah. Maybe what we'll do.
I have horrible speakers.
Yeah, no problem. So we're gonna do a little bit of a readjustment. Clara, keep talking to them as we.
Hi, welcome. Let's see what you guys are saying. Cornelia is amazing. You think Vincent? Samuela, you are very passionate about Sweden will not win in vlogs, because I think you want your country to win. You want Italy to win. Probably the only one, but I really don't like her voice. Ruth Dierks, sorry. Poland staging feels like that's how Tutlu University Switzerland should have been staged. That's kind of an interesting point to make, and I think it would have made a more interesting John Steers performance. Someone is giving Cornelia third or fourth place. Yeah, I could see that happening. Hi, Stuart is moving the box
I wanted to do it in like a
Swift
fancy way.
mode. Okay, let's see. What do you think of Domi's chances of qualifying? Chris Bayliss is asking.
Well, we haven't seen it yet.
We
We're gonna
haven't
see
seen it
after
yet.
this one.
Today, for me, I think it will be the first time I see, it will be the first 3 minutes rehearsals that we see, or full rehearsal that we see. So far,
Are we swapping what's on?
yeah. So far the vocals.
No. Just keep it there. It just needs to be plugged in.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. Hi.
We're moving over.
We're moving. Wait just a second as everyone gets inside the frame. This is my bad side.
It's
It's a beautiful day and I can't stop myself from smiling. Okay.
that works.
Okay. Can I have my pillow back?
It's your time to go get your pillow if you want to.
Thank you.
True, yeah. But instead, I'm gonna take a pee break. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, Domi in the pre-parties has been not the best, hasn't had the best vocals. She has a very interesting low vibrato in the recorded version, and she can really actually hit the high note, which is, I think, the only thing she can actually hit in tone is the high note. But the recorded version is fantastic. It's going to be a visual light.
Yeah.
Visually, it's going to be striking. That I can tell.
That's what I'm most excited for today.
So you really like the song. Yeah, it's a fantastic recorded song, I think. My problem with Sweden entry is that the production is so similar every year that even the good ones don't impress me so much. Those I like are more original, like Euphoria. This is the thing that, we're getting the last clip, the last one from Sweden, but this is what a lot of people are saying about Sweden is so good that it's not impressive.
Well, this is not what I want. Guess all the good things come to an end. So baby,
There's a yellow light on her at the beginning, which is different from what we've seen so far. Her microphone is still having some issues.
I'll find someone else. Is it best to just cut directly since this is like the last one and we started off like this? Please.
I think the thing, the
He was
wire from her mic got caught in her tassel things.
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, they have
to
people
record.
in the audience,
I felt
right?
like it's better to just not lose time.
I think the press are...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Press are probably seeing this live. Yeah, because I was able to see Måneskin's rehearsal last year inside.
Well,
Hello, from another
Hi.
angle.
Yes.
Well, like, this might be a stupid question, but I've noticed that Cornelia's mic has like a long lead, whereas quite often mics wouldn't have a lead. Could she not sing on a mic without a lead?
So what I've noticed is that I don't know what kind of mic it is that she uses, but she uses it for every performance.
Yes,
So it's a very specific type of mic.
And maybe for her voice to capture the growl that she has.
Jess, can you hand me my water? It's just to your left.
He's still calling it water.
Do I look drunk to you?
Well, you sang on camera a few times.
Fair enough.
Well, this is not what I want. And all the
Yeah,
good things come to an end.
There we go.
So baby, bye bye. Wish you the best. But most of all, I wish that I could love you less. Or maybe you're right. I'll find someone else. You say it isn't me, but when did that ever help?
I think the lights turned on too
Hold
fast.
me closer, although we leave for the sunrise. I'll be bleeding, but don't you
I like that the circle is not a plain green color.
There's texture to it.
Yeah, that's
Sunrise, hold tight. Maybe it happened too fast. I guess that I understand. You say that you never felt this way.
I hope they don't cut like that. They should just use the Steadicam again.
So baby, bye bye. No, it's for the best. Still, I can see how that.
Though this turning of the circle is better.
Yeah, definitely.
Hold me closer, although we leave for the sunrise. I'll be bleeding, but don't you mind? I'll be fine. Oh, it kills me. I found the right one at the wrong time. Got to the sunrise. Will you just hold me tight?
Now we get a full vision of the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And now close on her again.
Just give me the night.
Transition to red.
Kissing part will hurt really bad.
Ooh,
Oh, pyro.
pyro.
Oh, wow.
Very subtle pyro.
Would never have thought.
Oh, and
not
now,
so
now
subtle.
not so subtle. There we go. Big explosion.
Lasers shooting. I'm not sure if they're lasers, but like light beams shooting.
So I have to say the ending looks completely different to what we saw at Melfest. It's this is not a total copy paste. This people will say for Melfest, but or from Sweden rather.
Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
totally.
All the lights blinking at the same time. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
The sun, what? What sun? What?
Oh, so good.
Yeah. So
And she's super happy now. She knows.
yeah. She's you can hear the relief in her voice
Yeah.
certainly. Yeah, that's still in contention for the win.
Yes,
I'd say.
Oh yes,
Yes.
100%.
I
I mean, towards the end of the song, obviously, so much more lighting coming in, flashing lights.
It grows.
Pyro is something I would never have associated with such a song, but I think it works.
yeah.
And obviously, the song really starts to get power, and then everything just kind of goes crazy in a way,
Mhm.
and it just works.
Totally, yeah. And let's clarify when we say pyro, they're not using fire. It's just sort of like
Fireworks.
yeah. There's fireworks in the big explosion,
And then pew.
but even
Yeah.
before that, you start to see kind of like the
Smoke, puffs of smoke.
yeah puffs of smoke, and that was really unexpected, and,
Yes.
and I think it's the right way to impact the arena feel that the
Yeah.
original
Yeah.
song had, the original performance had. Wuka says that Greece and Sweden are the biggest disappointments. So generic that it really hurts to listen.
I do not agree on any of that.
Yeah, Sweden I find to be just so effortless, and it you
Very
know
raw.
yeah raw, but also just like everything fits together nicely.
Yeah.
The melody, the words that she's saying, it's just like it
She's
it
really
works.
telling you the story with her eyes and her vocals and her body language. There's no disconnection between the lyrics and her staging.
You can tell it's different because Chris Bale is saying you can tell it's different because the majority of American reactors absolutely love the song. I mean, that could be an indication of some things. One consistent thing that I've found is that a lot of Anglophone people from Anglophone countries really, really liked Malta from last year.
Mm.
That did not translate into the score.
European people, yeah.
Yeah.
It was for a European, but I think there's a sass that is more associated in that song that's more associated with Anglophones than Yeah, we just tell people to go F themselves in a different way.
I did quite like that performance. I you know, in hindsight, it didn't have the same winner qualities that we thought it was going to have when we actually saw the performance. But saying thanks for keeping me company as you have COVID. Hope you get better soon, and hopefully the symptoms aren't too bad. Franco saying, unpopular opinion, I'm not impressed by Sweden's entry. It's only in my top 15. It's a nice song, but everybody says it's potential winner, which is a bit too much in my humble opinion. Not everybody thinks that it's winner. No.
Samuel thinks otherwise.
Yeah.
He's very passionate about it.
Yeah. And what else are you saying? Rai Bailey saying, really underwhelmed. This was in my top 5, dropped to my 12th. Are you talking about Sweden?
You need to watch it live.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to watch you will soon be able, next week you will be able to watch it.
Yeah. Vincent F, we're getting positive feedback from you guys. Well,
yeah.
It's always positive, but at the very least constructive still. Like we don't say, oh, everything's great and everybody's gonna win.
Yes. No. I personally think, for example, that the Czech Republic should work a little more on her vocals, but overall, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of good things to take from every entry. Yeah,
absolutely, and I think part of that is recognizing the hard work that goes into. I mean, we've said this a few times already on but certainly, like, you know, we really admire the work that goes into Eurovision, and we think that our ethos is that should come through in the comments that we say. And it's interesting too, because there was this statement, as we found out today, from the EBU saying that members of the production were getting a lot of negativity online, and people were not considering that, and that you would never see that from us.
Yes. I wonder why they're. Well, I don't wonder. I'm gonna take that wonder back.
Yeah, I don't.
I have the answer. I just answered myself. Why beer?
So we're just waiting for Czech Republic now, and then we'll be done for the day.
I can't believe it.
Rai Bailey thinks Greece is the winner. Chris saying, a lot of haters in the chat today. It's a very personal song. Eva,
haters? Are there haters?
Nah,
I wouldn't call them haters.
Yeah. You can say you don't like something, like that's not being a hater. And if you have constructive criticism, I think that's it's different from saying like, she's
this or
she's ugly, you know. Yeah. Eva is saying Poland brilliant.
I think it's as long as you can justify why you don't like this or why you don't like a particular thing in a way that's respectful, that's just still constructive criticism. Yeah,
and really like trying to navigate these things, trying to discuss who is going to be reaching out to the audience. Like, it's not an easy task for anyone. Like, we do our best. We've been right on a number of occasions, but it's really been through being thoughtful about things and not just going with a narrative that's popular.
Yeah.
What else are you saying? Bubble Pirate is asking, what are your top 10 qualifiers of semi-1? Oh my God, too much work.
We can come back with that on some time later with an actual list, because I think we need like pen and paper for this.
We'll do a proper video where we talk about qualifiers for each semi.
That's actually probably Andy has got in mind too.
Well, we typically do. Yeah, exactly.
So stay tuned for that video.
Exactly.
It is to come.
And Vincent F saying, you seem to have liked the staging. I mean, so the thing is, with the first full take that we saw, it did seem it was rougher. The second one, while not perfect,
it's better.
Yeah, and I think that so long as they hit all the beats and everything is executed properly, then it's going to be a real showstopper.
Yes. I think we like the staging because it was also surprising. At the end, it was very surprising.
Liam says, I mean, you all think Malta is going through. I'm still on the fence about that.
I think it's going through because I've seen it perform live in different arenas, and the reaction she gets is very different to what other people get.
Chris is saying it's not so much a song contest nowadays, more like a worldwide industry. I mean, look, if you can argue that you run an event that attracts an audience of 200 million people and now has evidently, launched the careers of notable people, then I say that's a pretty good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is a song contest because people are taking less props this time. And like, if you think about Eurovision, roughly like 10 or 5 years ago, it was more about what's the craziest thing you can do on stage, how many crazy gimmicks you can pull. But this time, there's very little props, maybe. Not as much props as we've seen before.
Like, I think it's matured in a way.
It's matured in a way, yes. There's less outfit reveals, or like, we even had a magician once that I think Slovakia or Slovenia brought, so...
So the postcard has started to roll for Czech Republic, and it looks like we're about to see a take. Hopefully, it goes off without a hitch. Because we need a break too. All this sitting is really getting to us. All right. So because this is the first take, we're going to be quiet throughout most of it. So bear with us.
Unless we suffer from an epilepsy attack with the...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a great opening shot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of cables in a machine that the DJing guy is...
Oh, he's got a huge rig. Oh.
Her vocals are still not the best.
That's not what I was thinking, but...
Her vocals get lost, I think.
I think they're a bit drowned out by music.
I think there's a mismatch in the texture between her live vocals and her recorded vocals that stand out quite a bit. But visually, very interesting.
I'm small, but mighty, yes I can. I'll be the fortress, I'll be the wall, I'll be a queen and invincible. Try changing jobs, try changing my birds, changing my furniture, change my bed covers. I change my heart, but there's no chance to turn the lights off.
They do turn the lights off and go click, 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 click.
Yes. As one would expect. I find the LEDs super distracting. The statues.
I like the white border one.
That screen was better.
And the light show is really dynamic, much like we saw in those photos. There's this kind of statue theme going on with the LEDs.
It's a bit strange.
The thing is, my issue with this song is that the fact that she hits the high notes, it doesn't mean that you can forget the lower notes.
The thing is, it looks cool.
Yeah.
They've got like the kind of like we're a cool experimental indie band vibe down. All right. Yeah, I think it's overall solid. It's not perfect, but
it's gone down quite well in the arena. We could hear people cheering. So maybe the feed we got from, because things sound different in different places. So maybe it sounded better in the arena.
Would you like to start us off with what we saw?
I think Ben and the other guy. Well, the two men are in different platforms. one to the left, one to the right. The guy is jamming to his keyboard. The other one is with his guitar, surrounded by his amplifiers, and then he obviously has the bow for the guitar. And Domi is walking around in between the platforms. They're all dressed with what we saw on the photos. This very similar fabric onesies, but in different styles. Like, she has a shirtless upper part. But it's
Probably entirely needed.
Yeah.
You just don't see the lower half.
no, but like her costume starts here, and
Oh, okay.
but there's a lot of statues and or imagery of statues on the sides and on the floor projection, and then there's a lot of lights rotating and blinking. And
I mean, for me, I think the light show, as I'd call it, is the best part of this performance. It is very effective and it works very well. Some of the imagery that we see popping up, I'm a bit confused by these statues we see. I'm not quite sure how it fits in with the song, but overall, take them out, it's a solid performance.
Yeah, I like the idea, but I find them very distracting because when they appear in the chorus, my eyes are going to them because they're off to the sides of the sun.
I find that her vocals are not blending very well with the musical track. Maybe if they put an effect on her microphone. The thing is that her vocals are very bare compared to how processed the backing vocals are. Maybe
I'm used to it because my majority of exposure to this song was the ESCZ CZ performance. So I mean, I'm not too put off by that particularly. And I mean, it sounds like she is getting those high notes, which was not always the case with other performances. And she doesn't sound quite as congested as she has sometimes when she's performed it. So I don't know. I think it's a good closer, and I think that they're probably in a good position to qualify too. You're not sure?
About qualifying, I'm not entirely sure either.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sold on that. I think lots of different elements coming together, not necessarily working, is possibly going to be a hindrance to them.
So what are you saying? Bubble Pirate saying, hope Czech Republic are going to qualify. Rabielli saying her vocals are better than Austria. I mean, they're in a different semi-final, but yes. Chris is saying, I hope they do because it's one of those songs that will break up the slower stuff this year. Yeah, and there is quite a long stretch of slower energy songs, like because before Sweden we get Belgium, which is not a slow song, but
kind of
it's
mid-tempo.
Exactly, yeah. And then before that, it's like Montenegro and Poland. Poland also is kind of in the middle ground, or at least like mixing in slower parts with higher energy parts. Yes. So yeah, I think that it would be nice for the final to have a lot of energy. And of the songs that are going to bring that, I would say that this is probably one of the ones that I would choose personally. How about you?
I still prefer Romania. I would still prefer Romania.
You know what? On a personal level, yes. But I guess just maybe. Although, this one also has some issues with the distracting statues. Yeah, so maybe. Yeah, I was. It's kind of like I'd be really happy if both of them got through. But if I had to choose between the two, I guess it would be Romania. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Right, Bailey, vocals don't matter. Really bad singers made the final before. They should matter. Let's just put it that way. They should matter. We shouldn't ask for bad vocals. And it's not like this is a bad vocal performance overall.
It's just that it doesn't match the studio version for me.
And obviously the song is quite demanding because you're going constantly from the low notes to the really high notes. And if she can make it smoother, I think it would sound better.
Samuele wants Domi to be a dark horse, and Vincent F saying nail the vocals. We need you in the final. I think it's definitely good enough to get a substantial amount of jury points, and I think the televote will appreciate this.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not. I don't think they're.
It's not terrible. It's not a disaster. It's just not as polished as.
Yes.
The stage is not breaking. The walls are not falling. It's not terrible. It's not a disaster. That's my comment.
EC Varo says, I kind of miss the crazy stuff we used to get in the 2000s and 2010s.
I mean, some of it was great, to be fair, in my opinion.
in my opinion, this much of it was great. But anyway,
Are you looking at me for to me?
if you so ESC Viral was talking about how he liked the crazy stuff.
Nah.
They like the crazy stuff from these eras.
I didn't. I mean, some of them was cool. Some of them was definitely like it took entertainment to a new level.
Mm-hmm.
But I sometimes like when it goes back to the original format. I'm not saying like let's go back to black and white and have this very slow ballads from the 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
But I can appreciate some more stripped back, like Cornelia, for example.
For me, the definition of a good Eurovision year is when there's a good amount of songs that I want to listen to after Eurovision.
Yes.
And ideally, they should also be matched by a great visual performance, because then it's appealing to my to my profession. And if there's not that, then I really don't care, for me. But ultimately, I think that that's what
especially because we live with other people and we want them to also appreciate the
Yeah.
music we listen to and like not be told off every time we put our music on.
I would not have been able to sell my friends and family on Eurovision of the past because I couldn't sell myself on it.
Yeah, same.
Anyway, we're getting take 2 of the Czech Republic. Oh yeah, it's darker now.
No, yeah. I think they didn't.
Oh.
They just hadn't turned on the lights.
Changing jobs, changing lovers, changing my furniture, change my bed covers. I change my heart, but there's not
I prefer this better because the backing vocals are lower, so they don't get so distracting with their actual voice.
Where are you now? Where are you now? Where are you now? Where are you now?
I think the vocal mixes is better. She's so happy to be on stage.
Yeah.
She's dancing around.
I'm really not too bothered by the vocals.
I'm not bothered on this take.
They're pretty solid.
Yeah. Chris is saying Katy Perry clone of We Are Domi or someone else.
I can't hear. Because Katy Perry, when she sings live, she sounds very similar to her.
Really?
Yeah, Katy Perry is a fantastic recording act, recording artist.
Not much of a live performance.
Now she's better, but like in the first 5 years of her being famous, she was not that good.
Juan Casanelas is saying, getting a bit of a Triana Park vibes from the Czech Republic this year in terms of how they relate to qualification. This is, I think, a bit more polished than Triana Park. I really like Triana Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, the studio version, yeah. And not, the performance itself wasn't bad. It just sounded, a lot of performances that year sounded really thin.
Yes,
I found.
yes.
And that one suffered, sadly.
Okay.
Chris saying this will go down well in the club. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Euro Club is going to be throwing their hands up with this.
Well, they seem happy with how it went.
And so we just have one more, and then
And then
we
we're
can
off
call it a
to the
day.
races.
Yeah. What's been, based on what you've seen or the comments that you've heard from us, what's been your favorite so far? Let us know, because we will be wrapping up after we get that third take.
Yes.
What's been our favorite so far?
Oh,
From today that we've seen.
Yeah.
have a look.
Cornelia, I think.
Yeah, she's probably definitely going to be one of my favorites. I also really enjoyed Cyprus and
Romania.
Poland was good as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Romania. I think it gave me more confidence than I was expecting to have in it. Even though I don't see him secured for qualification.
Really, that's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
You are how do I call it? You're not taking into consideration the Polish diaspora that's going to vote for him.
For
Bachmann.
Oh, because of us?
No. Like
wait.
in Poland.
No, sorry. Did I say Poland? I meant
Yes.
Romania.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Romania was the one.
Same principle.
True. Well, I mean, if that were the case, I mean, both of those countries have missed the final since 2017. So.
But this year they're taking things that are good.
Yeah.
Oh, our friend from Tinder wants to date us again.
Haven't seen you in a while.
And let us know in the comments which ones are your favorites. Let us know what are the YouTube clips, because we've obviously been here, so we're very curious to know what you've been seeing as well. And yeah, man, it's a lot to talk for 6 hours.
Well, you know what? I never thought I could talk very long about one particular subject, but clearly I've been proven wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We can dissert on Eurovision for hours and hours and hours and hours, and that's horrible for people that care for us.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
maybe
for our family and friends.
Like for me now, it's nice that I have people that will actually listen to me.
Yes,
because the minute See, that's what I love about you guys. We were saying before, what do we like about each other?
Yeah.
I like that you like Eurovision.
Yes, that's because that's pretty much why we like each other. Because I don't think anyone would like to sit with us and hear us talk about Eurovision for hours and hours and hours.
I'm actually really lucky because.
Oh, thank you.
well, I am really lucky in this regard, but with Chris, we get into long discussions about things. I'm still, clearly the fan, but. He's the one making shower playlists, and I hear his songs, his choices more than I hear my own.
Oh, wow.
Because I love Eurovision, but I also sometimes need my time away from it.
Oh, yeah, of course, like everyone.
Even I do.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think some people have the misconception that literally
I
just listen to Eurovision non-stop.
Yeah.
And that's what my friends think. I'm listening to it and I'm watching all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But more often than not, I probably listen to not Eurovision.
Yeah, I have on my Spotify my Eurovision playlist and my non-Eurovision playlist, and regularly I listen to the non-Eurovision playlist on the month that is not Eurovision relevant. So let's say that from January to June I listen to the Eurovision playlist, and from then onwards I listen to the non-Eurovision.
Okay, take 3 of Czech Republic.
I really like the opening shot with all of the machines writing.
Yeah, it starts on a close-up of what's more or less like a patching board. So lots of wires and lots of lights.
Very colorful.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Changing jobs, try changing lovers, changing my furniture, change my bed covers. I change my heart, the next other chance, so I turn the lights off. Where are you now?
I miss the pam 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 sound of the lights turning off.
Oh, but that happened.
I think it only happens in the second.
In the second, yeah.
Changes make a plan. I'm small but mighty, yes I can. I'll build a fortress, I'll build a wall, I'll be a queen in this circle. Try changing jobs, try changing others, changing my furniture, change my bed covers. I change my heart, but there's no chance, so turn the lights off.
Okay.
Where are you now? Where I miss you? Changing around, I know where to go. Where are you
Yeah, that face emerging from the shadows is just it's a bit too much.
It's a bit off-putting.
Nice pull in on her.
I mean, it's a very entertaining performance. And then I had to do the Spanish way because I was like getting stuck on the words. Nice.
Good job.
All right. So we've seen all the semifinalists now.
We have.
We have.
Pause it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh, silence.
Yeah, silence. Isn't that nice? Let us know what some of your favorites are. Justina saying Poland, Sweden, and the Czech Republic the best today. Rai Bailey asking if we are live tonight. That's usually the plan.
We will
wait and see.
Yes.
It depends on what Andy wants to do because he's been the whole day in the press center.
Mm-hmm. Mr. System 96 saying, doesn't that sum up Eurovision season, the time of year where you have so many things to say at once and also have 40 songs?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And then some. Because I was going to ask the other day if there was a song that was selected this year that you would swap out for another one in its national selection, which one would it be?
Pink Flamingos.
Mm.
For Norway.
Yeah, I probably would choose the Pink Flamingos too.
Okay, well, I got to choose a different one because not that I would choose Pink Flamingos, but a different country. And definitely Raven met the Hordbrein in Denmark.
No, yes, that would be another choice of mine.
Yeah.
I also really liked. I think her name is Mia from Dora with the song.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was my winner. I would have loved to have seen that
Mm-hmm.
Eurovision.
Romania. Purely what I heard from your broadcast is Romania. Mm-hmm. Oh, so Romania is your favorite. And Vincent F saying, "Baby." I don't know what this year's playlist will look like with so many depressing songs.
I don't think there's too many depressing songs. I think there's a nice mix of genres and styles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. This is a very diverse year, which is necessary because last year I don't think was quite as diverse from a genre point of view, whereas this year definitely is. Rectory Lad saying Jeremy Makis looks beautiful today. He's a very good looking guy. Rai Bailey's favorites were Belgium, Poland, and Ireland. Bubble Pirate is asking, do you prefer Austria's staging concept or Czech Republic?
Ooh,
I prefer Austria's staging concepts.
But I prefer the lighting that we see in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, like crossover of that.
Yeah, and I think between the songs, I kind of feel the same about both of them.
I like the Czech Republic's recorded songs better, and I don't like any of the lives.
Okay.
I mean, between the songs, I prefer Austria's song to the Czech Republic.
Yeah. I think, again, the issue that I have with Austria, kind of performance aside, is the force integration of the DJ producer. I still think it doesn't quite work. And hopefully one day we will see, a use of that is a bit more effective. But I think that's it for today.
Yeah,
I think it is.
For now, at least.
Yes, at least.
You can never get rid of us.
Yeah, never, ever. But thank you so much for tuning in with us because you've been keeping us company just as much as we've wanted to keep you company as well. And we hope that you've enjoyed our analysis. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to Eurovoxx because we're talking about Eurovision all the time.
24/7,
365.
But we would love to have you with us throughout the year because there's always things to talk about and things to be excited about. Of course, we are most excited about the shows. And tomorrow we're going to be seeing
the Big Five, right?
The Big Five. We're going to get those second rehearsals where we actually see it through the camera.
And I'm already so nervous for the UK, to see it in the flesh.
An exciting day tomorrow for everyone.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe we should say who we're all most excited about, but I think it's kind of obvious. UK.
Everyone but Germany.
Everyone Germany. For me, maybe it's Italy. Maybe it's Italy. I don't know. Yeah, everyone. I won't. Whatever. Anyway,
I'm the rude one. It's
we
fine.
will leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your thank yous as well.
Thank you for your thank you.
And we will leave it there. See you next time. You can catch us tomorrow and possibly this evening.